To answer your second question, I'm on our E60 in original content team. So this is the first documentary I've ever directed and produced for ESPN. I've been working on long form feature stories, 7 to 12 minutes for the last 4 years now at the company. So that's been my role mainly, is in that lane of 7 to 12 minute feature stories. And this is the longest project I've ever done. So it's a great opportunity. And obviously, Jeremy Schaap is the reporter on this, who's become an extremely close friend of mine, and he's a New Yorker. So when I was looking for voices that could really passionately tell this story, Jeremy was the first one that came to mind. And as always, Jeremy delivered.
I do have to say, I'm wondering for you, I'm a video editor as well, and people, whether you're editing a 30-second commercial or a 12-minute piece or a 90-minute, 60-minute documentary, it's all very involved. People would not, couldn't imagine, most wouldn't be able to, how much goes into a 7 to 10-minute piece that you produce. How is that different when you entered into this long form documentary role?
Absolutely, and you couldn't have said it better yourself. Like, that's one thing that the family had just no idea what it took.
Yeah.
They bring it up all the time, like, oh, you're on another shoot? I can't believe you're doing this, doing that. And it's like, there is a lot that goes into this. But, I've always thought of it as, when you're doing a 7 to 12 minute piece, you're telling the story in that time frame, and the techniques and the skills don't really change when you're doing longer. You just have the opportunity to not necessarily add in more content, but to go deeper on the content that you have. Whereas, in the story, when I'm telling the backstory about the team's run and stuff, in a 7 to 10 minute feature, I would do that in maybe a minute or a minute and a half. Whereas this one, since I have the extra, 12 or 15 minutes of runtime, I can go into like a 5-minute story about that. And really, to me, it helps the audience connect with the character itself. Like, Michael obviously is not here to tell his story. And we have some archival materials I was able to find throughout the way to help do that. But all this extra time does is allow the viewer to connect more with the family, connect more with Michael. And it's definitely more challenging to do it longer, but it does present many more opportunities to...
As I explained to people who ask for something, you think 15 seconds is easier than 30? It's the opposite. It's harder to put something into little time. I hate to do this to you, but we are, speaking of time, out of it. Watch this Wednesday night on ESPN, 9 p.m. Gus, thank you so much, and congratulations.
Embarrassed by ugly yellow toe fungus?
Living with toe fungus it's embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off. I hid my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody.
Introducing Crystal Flush. Crystal Flush is the only FDA-registered 2-in-1 home treatment that attacks your toe fungus from both the inside and out. Crystal Flush's new and different combination system knocks out toe fungus for good. Guaranteed.
Crystal Flush is different. After just a few weeks, my fungus was gone. 100% disappeared. Crystal Flush was the only thing that ever worked. So if you're skeptical because you tried a bunch of other stuff, Crystal Flush is different. This is a game changer.
Crystal Flush is now available without a prescription, but it is not available in stores. Get your risk-free supply today. Go to crystalflush.com. That's CRYSTAL flush.com. Stop being embarrassed by ugly yellow toenails. Go to crystalflush.com or call 800-204-4484.
You wouldn't drive a car without suspension, so why mow without it? Ferris Commercial Mowers set the bar as the first and only manufacturer to integrate suspension into their mowers, allowing you to go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Whether you're a professional cutter or a homeowner that wants to mow like a pro, Ferris is there with the commercial-grade mowers to keep you going strong. Visit the Caledonia family today at Clinton Tractor to set up a test drive and feel the Ferris difference.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Friday, August 21st, get ready for a night of great music for an even greater cause. Jefferson Starship is bringing the Runaway Again Tour 2026 to Vernon Downs Casino Hotel. Sing along while helping make a real difference because 100% of the proceeds benefit the Food Bank of Central New York. Tickets are just $20 on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or grab them fee-free at the Vernon Downs Players Club. Don't miss your chance to rock out and give back with Jefferson Starship, August 21st, live at Vernon Downs Casino Hotel.
A cloudy start this morning and a bit warmer than it's been, Bill. 68 degrees right now. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM News Time 6:33. The Memorandum of Understanding that was supposed to help find a way to end the U.S.-Iran war expires today. There's little evidence that either side wants to extend the agreement. Both sides have accused the other of violating the terms of the deal multiple times. At least 7 people dead after storms caused flash flooding across Indiana. A record amount of rain caused streams and rivers to flood their banks across the state last week. Again, the death toll now at 7. Accused killer Luigi Mangione's online legal defense fundraiser is still bringing in cash after his recent guilty plea to federal charges tied to the fatal shooting of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. While Mangione pleaded guilty last week to stalking charges, he still faces separate New York State murder charges. A spokesperson for online fundraising platform Give Send Go tells TMZ the money is being raised to cover Mangione's defense, and he still has unresolved legal matters. President Trump will honor a lifeguard who saved a young swimmer. 16-year-old Ryder Williams jumped into the water off Santa Cruz, California last month when he saw a 10-year-old boy in trouble. Trump posting on social media that he's bringing this heroic young man and his family to the White House to receive a high civilian honor. Former Super Bowl MVP and future Hall of Famer Von Miller is now with the Dallas Cowboys. Miller, who signed a 1-year deal with the team, is coming off a 9-sack season with the Washington Commanders. A 2-time Super Bowl champion, Miller has played for the Broncos, Rams, Bills, and Commanders. And an AI agent running a San Francisco store has fired a human employee. Andon Labs saying on Thursday that Luna, the AI manager of Andon Market, an experimental retail store run entirely by AI, decided to fire a human employee after repeated lateness and other workplace issues. Logs show the employee arrived late for 17 of 23 shifts. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 6:35. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Front laid out nicely across us as we push on through this morning, and some showers on it, maybe even a thunder shower into the afternoon, some passing showers, thunder showers. Throwing a little patchy fog, and you've got a Monday up near 80 degrees. Tonight, a threat for a shower thunderstorm early, then breaking up the clouds a bit, 60, 50s in the North Country, and a bit of fog by morning, which will go away by about 9 or 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. Then sunshine, very pleasant Tuesday, 80. Wednesday, showers, thunderstorms back in the afternoon, 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, 68 degrees and cloudy skies at 6:36.
All right, we have a bunch to a decent weekend. Yesterday turned out to be pretty good considering, right?
Yeah.
Coming up, Jonathan Savage in a few minutes from Fox News, and there's stuff going on with South Korea. We'll get into a Bike is Free Money question of the day. Assemblyman Brian Miller is on. There's a new Siena poll out to see where the governor's race is. And we'll also speak with, I mentioned Miller, Brian Miller, and then Oneida County Republican member Gary Kuda wants to talk more about the party's direction. And, you know, they have a committee vote coming up for chairman later on in the month of September. So some of that stuff happening this morning over the weekend. What did we say on Friday? The Mets will sweep the Nationals. And this is not bad for a team that has, quote, nothing to play for.
Yeah. Well, so I was telling you as we started today, I did a little bit of math, and the Mets have 37 left. And if they were to win every series, they have one 4-game series. So if they split that, that would be 26-11. Now, as I was just scrolling here, looking for a couple of headlines, second half surge. This is from Mets Nation, just a fan site on Facebook. Second half surge. If the Mets go 29-8 the rest of the way, there's a legitimate path to the playoffs. It ain't over till it's over. # Let's go Mets.
And I'm not going to break my arm patting myself on the back, but this is what I said 2 weeks ago.
29-8 though.
Now the problem is that even though they have gone 9 of 12,
yeah, not out of the last 12,
we are still 11 games out of the wild card.
So the
most important chance they had to make some real gains, they only took 1 of 3 from the Atlanta Braves.
So the Braves lead the division, right?
Correct.
Over that 12-game stretch, I think we picked up 2.5 games on Atlanta. The bad thing is, in the wild card race, I don't think we gained any ground. I think we were 21 out in the league and the division, and 11 out in the wild card, and we're still 11 out in the wild card, and that's really our only chances. We're not catching Atlanta.
Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is, and I'd rather see them end with some enjoyable baseball than the alternative.
I was looking, by the way, I saw the Miami Marlins were a couple games out, 5.5 out or something. They're a few games over 500. It'd be nice if once we got to spoil their playoff hopes the last week of the season.
That would be awesome. Yankees also winning over the weekend. Davey, what was your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the Buffalo Bills? Interestingly, I looked as the game was going on. I'm like, it's second half. They've got Josh Allen still in there. And I looked to realize that was not Josh Allen.
His best friend.
It's his buddy, right?
Yeah, Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen. And if you remember, they used to play against each other.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. But I thought first quarter, Josh Allen looked really good.
Yeah, he
took a couple of hits.
I was at an event on Saturday, which I attended, and I had my phone on me, so I was getting alerts. But I did DVR the Bills game and watched it back on Saturday night. He connected with DJ Moore, and then Coleman caught the touchdown. They look good.
They look good. A lot of penalties. I mean, it's preseason, but a lot of penalties. A lot of penalties with referees that weren't calling all the penalties.
I was with Jim Rondinelli on Saturday. We were listening to the game on the way back when I picked him up to drop him off where I picked him up, and we had the game on, and he said, only the Bills in preseason would have pass interference against them.
Yeah. Well, you want to make those penalties now, I guess. So,
yes.
I'm going to ask you, speaking of sports, has been in an umpire mania going on this weekend.
Well, it'll start tomorrow. So,
okay.
Yeah. I actually did have 3 games on Saturday, which were good games. It was a little tournament up at Accelerate. So that was nice. And then I'm excited to go to Dreams Park in Cooperstown for the first time. I'll be doing a tournament out there this week. So that's I'm really looking forward to it. Quickly on the Giants, Jackson Dart had a touchdown, but there was a blown blocking coverage where I think it was the running back just barely got a piece of the defender, and Jackson Dart got leveled, and really a position you've seen him in too many times in his rookie year. He was in the blue tent.
Really?
They cleared him. They said he was fine. He was okay. But that's now 6 times. That's now 6 times in a full season and 1 preseason game that he's been in concussion protocol. Or I shouldn't say protocol. He was at least screened just to make sure he was okay.
Yeah.
But it's 6 times too many. It really is. The kid's way too young, and I continue to be concerned. I know Harbaugh's happy. Everyone's happy. We're talking about winding down the baseball season. He's learning to slide. But when you're in
Tom Petty there.
Yeah, when you're in the pocket like that, there's no place to slide. He took a pretty big hit. Fortunately, it was more like midsection than upper body, or shoulders and head. But,
but you don't
Giants lost. I could care less about that.
You don't want to see that blue tent.
No, you don't.
Yeah. And listen, I think right now the Bills are in a position where they should be, they need to be winning in preseason, even when they put in the second string They got to be really performing on high levels, and they have a tough schedule this year. Okay, and then the Jets. Anybody?
I watched some of the Jets game. They were up. They played Tampa Bay. They had a chance to win it. Ultimately didn't get it done. I think it was 17-16 was the final. Actually, maybe 24-16. Tampa Bay got a touchdown late on their final drive to really end off the game. I guess the Jets could have got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, but it didn't happen.
We had a lot going this weekend, and kids home this weekend for a family party that we ended up going to. And I think there was an interesting conversation at the end that I had with a friend about what do the Democrats need to do, especially with a lot of talk about these candidates from the far left that actually have won their primaries. So I used to be a believer that the Democrats need to get a moderate candidate, go for moderate candidates that can appeal to everyone. And I've come to the conclusion that is a great theory for 2028. But for right now, it depends on the district. Like there are districts where a moderate candidate's not going to perform. And now you worry about, I would say if you're the Democrats, you worry about 2028, but after you get through November. You got to get through November. So in order to pick up seats in the House and in the Senate, I think there's going to be some of those Democratic socialists that are going to end up being a part of the Democratic Party in the House especially. And I think they're going to have to live with that. 2028 is when you're going to hopefully try to bring some normalcy back to the party and run a more moderate candidate. Somebody like Jen DeBean, who gave, I don't know if you heard last hour, but gave a great interview with us. I thought he did very, very well. He's fighting, of course, against Constantino, who's a bit on the radical side. So, but at the end of the day, do you agree? Right now, it depends on the Senate district. It depends on the House district where that candidate should be on the spectrum.
Yes. So, yeah, I guess I do agree.
'Cause we're looking at you when we look at some of these far left candidates that are winning. You're shaking your head, like really?
Yeah.
But you have to look at where they're running.
Regarding the presidential situation, again, I was hearing last week Kamala Harris, and 2 weeks ago that Kamala Harris was atop the potential candidates of Democratic nominees for president. And then I believe I saw a headline this morning that AOC is creeping up there as well. So.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. But you got to get through this crazy November, and it is going to be quite crazy. What do Republicans have to do? We'll speak with Steve Greenberg from Siena Research.
Oh, I just saw a poll on Blakeman, by the way.
Yeah,
he and Hochul are like single digits.
I'm not sure that's the poll. Let's see what.
Siena's numbers might be different, but it was like it was a New York Post poll or something. It was certainly a New York Post headline.
If it's a poll that was released and done by Blakeman, some of those have shown things really close, but those are tough to trust. Let's see where it is. Jonathan Savage with Fox News Radio standing by right now. There's a story out there right now. The U.S. and South Korea are holding major military drills. But the president says maybe we need to back away from that. Jonathan Savage, what do we know? Good morning.
Yeah, these drills happen every year. They rehearse how the United States and South Korea would respond to a North Korean attack. They've got command post simulations, field training, land, air, maritime, cyber capabilities, all tested. Thousands and thousands of troops take part. President Trump said yesterday that actually he would like to cancel them, but it's too late to do that. So he's told War Secretary Pete Hegseth to substantially reduce them. He, in this post on Truth Social, he kind of gave 3 reasons for wanting to reduce or cancel the drills. Firstly, the cost. He says that the United States spends too much money on these, and South Korea should bear more of the burden. Probably more significantly, he posted an old photograph of himself with Kim Jong-un on Saturday, talking about how they were friends, and said yesterday that the exercises were not appropriate because North Korea had been unthreatening and respectful, saying that this was a hostile and inappropriate thing to do at the moment. So that's pretty remarkable for North Korea, which is nuclear armed, wants to have even more nuclear weapons. It's resumed missile testing, but perhaps a sign that President Trump wants Kim Jong-un to return to talks.
I'm just shaking my head through all of that. This whole thing of him being friends with Kim Jong-un, it really does not exist, right? I mean, in fact, when the president has talked about that, North Korea has responded saying just the opposite publicly. So I don't know where we're going there. And maybe he's trying to squeeze more money out of South Korea to help fund the exercise, but man, to walk away from that would be alarming.
North Korea is consistently hostile to not just South Korea, but the United States as well. When we go back to President Trump's first term, and we saw like quite a remarkable evolution over time in the relationship between President Trump and Kim Jong-un. They went from exchanging threats. Remember the Little Rocket Man moniker that President Trump gave to Kim Jong-un? But then they ended up meeting face to face. President Trump said that they'd fallen in love by writing letters to each other. There was a summit in 2019, but in the end, they couldn't agree on what North Korea would give up in exchange for sanctions relief. It seems like North Korea didn't actually want to give up anything at all. North Korea is expanding its nuclear and missile programs and describes itself as a permanent nuclear power.
And let's not forget that North Korea has been assisting Russia in their war against Ukraine. And you can only imagine that there is some assistance being given to Iran right now in the conflict we're involved in.
Certainly, the big difference in the positions of North Korea compared to President Trump's first term is how its international relations have evolved, especially with Russia. It is in a much stronger diplomatic position because it has this alliance with Russia, getting economic and military assistance. Moscow is getting ammunition, missiles, North Korean troops for the front line. Maybe North Korea is getting Russian military technology in addition to that battlefield experience. So that perhaps is a reason why Kim Jong-un might not feel he needs to engage in any nuclear negotiations when he's got Moscow on his side.
And I'll throw one thing out there. What must it feel like for top brass in the U.S. military and those soldiers carrying out these maneuvers? What must it feel like when in the midst of it, the president makes a statement like this?
Yeah, that is a very good question. You might imagine there's some confusion, but obviously that we're not going to hear directly from anyone serving out there if they do feel that way. Yeah. But it's certainly will come as something of a surprise, given how frequent and how important and how the enormity of the planning that goes into these drills.
Yeah. All right, interesting stuff, as it is and does seem to be every day. Jonathan Savage, Fox News Radio, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Your thoughts on that?
I
God,
don't
it
even know
seems
where
so
to
long
begin.
ago when, what's his name?
Little Rocket Man!
Dennis Rodman made the set up the meeting for the president and Kim Jong-un.
It does seem like a very long time
Seems
ago.
like many, many years ago. Quick break. We'll come right back. It's Monday morning at WIBX.
The Labor Day sale is on at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Save up to $2,000 on upstate New York's largest selection of mattresses. Will beat any locally advertised price on brands we carry. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khattak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks in America. There's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them. anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports. US Mobile is Wirecutter's top cell phone plan. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit. Just search for US Mobile and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Summer has a way of flying by, doesn't it? 1 minute you're planning vacations, the next you're trying to squeeze in one last trip to Sylvan Beach before backpacks replace beach bags. Around here, your vehicle is more than just a way to get around. It's how you make memories. It's the ride to the New York State Fair, the back-to-school shopping run, and before long, those weekends filled with apple picking at North Star Orchards and Utica Comets hockey games. No matter where the season takes you, you deserve the confidence that comes from knowing your vehicle is ready for the miles ahead. Right now at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, purchase any 4 Bridgestone tires and receive a $150 rebate. There's no better time to replace worn tires and be ready for everything fall has in store. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair has been driving our community since 1980. Trusted for quality, known for service. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Yorkville, Utica, Rome, or Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com. We'll keep the wheels turning so you can keep making memories. Season after season.
Well, you know, one project around the house that can completely change the way your entire property looks is a new front door. It's the first thing people see, adds curb appeal, and when it's installed correctly, it can finally put an end to the cold air sneaking into your home all winter long. And right now, New York Sash has put together a door offer that'll really get your attention during the Picture Perfect Door sale. You can save $1,000 on a new custom steel or fiberglass door, but there's the part that is insane and awesome and will, I feel, bring in those interested, and that is New York Sash is offering 0% interest financing for 36 full months. That's 3 years with 0% interest for approved buyers, and you don't put any money down until your installation is complete. New York Sash has been serving Central New York families since 1989. Their custom Provia doors, I guess that's what it would be, are installed by factory-trained local crews, and the doors, the entryway, backed by a lifetime warranty. So you get a beautiful new entrance, professional installation, New York Sash you can trust, and a door designed to handle real upstate New York weather. Schedule your free estimate at newyorksash.com or visit New York Sash, their showroom at 349 at Riskinny Boulevard in Whitesboro for details. And 3 years interest-free financing with New York Sash.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, by the way, mentioning the poll, you were kind of close on the single digits.
I said it's 10.
According to Sienna, it's 10 points. Hochul leading Blakeman 49-39, which kind of falls very much in line with where the numbers are in the state. Obviously, Democrats in New York State have an advantage, but then there are a lot of those independents, so we'll see where that goes. Right now, polling has Hochul up by 10 points. What else? Affordable housing is the big issue that is popping up on everybody's mind. I don't think that's any surprise, right? And New York State Attorney General Letitia James leading 54-36. Comptroller DiNapoli leading 55-32. And on the congressional ballot, Democrats lead Republicans 54-38 in New York State. So we'll talk to Greenberg later on this morning.
I see some of the numbers here as well. Again, it was 10 points overall, but the energy future is 47-42 in favor of Hochul. Public safety, 47-44. And undocumented immigrants, 45-44. So Blakeman is close, at least
on those issues.
Yeah. In the minds of some voters.
Yeah, those. So there you go with the issues that would be causing voters a little difficulty with Hochul, and no surprise there. Still, though, tough to be Republican running this year in a statewide race in New York State.
Yeah, it is difficult.
Not easy. And, the other part of this is you're starting to see who Blakeman is. He's making a lot of TV appearances. He's also running TV commercials in the last month for the first time. So people are getting an idea of who he is.
Yeah,
as an alternative.
Certainly the incumbent always has the recognition. I do have to say, though, I saw, which I feel like it was an impromptu social media ad. It was him sitting in a diner. And I don't know, it just didn't overwhelm me. It didn't inspire me to go and cast a ballot for him. On some issues, absolutely, but whatever. I don't even remember the issue he was talking about, which I think is a sign that that particular ad did not resonate with me. But whatever he was talking about, sitting in this diner booth, it was like, well, that's what you got, huh?
Yep.
It's not that impressive.
On the Trump South Korea issue, Mike this morning, good morning, says Trump wants to back off on the South Korean exercises because he does not want to anger our partners, Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin, with a smiley face. A little sarcasm right there. But it's certainly existing. There is no doubt about it. Today, we'll do Micah's free money question of the day. And it is worth, Davey, what are you going to run with here?
Smile for the first day of school.
Sorry. Would they move the buttons on you?
Apparently. You're going to have to reset this up here, Davey. The question would be, what blue button, not yellow button? That's
just hit the...
But my fingers? Too big. Okay, how much for the free money question? What are you having?
$150.
$150? $150? Can you go a little higher today?
No.
Okay. We'll make it $185. We might overrule him. I don't know how you want me to do this, Davey, because everything's all screwed up.
Just go.
Look at him shaking his head. He's all mad at me. I tried to hit your mic, but unfortunately, I hit the other button, which, by the way, is going to screw everything up on the streaming app. Anyway, YouTube is still clean. Well, it's a Monday morning. What are you going to do? Coming up next hour, we'll get into all of this. The battle in Utica also is quite interesting, don't you think? With all the fighting back and forth, and you would think there was a mayor's race going on this weekend or this November. There is not, but it certainly feels that way. Also, we'll get to Brian Miller's take. He has a race he's in the middle of. We'll speak with Brian Miller coming up in a second as well and get his take on the New York Post article that really took a shot at Utica, and much more coming up with Brian Miller here in the 7 o'clock hour. Stand by. It is a Monday morning. Not a terrible day, although a thunderstorm and maybe a shower or two, but a little humid right now.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Tate Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
The time is up. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That 60-day memorandum of understanding the U.S. and Iran signed as a framework for a deal to end the conflict expires today with no deal in sight.
The Memorandum of Understanding was declared over by President Trump on July 8th, a few days after the U.S. renewed military strikes. The Strait of Hormuz remains closed to almost all maritime traffic. Only 5 cargo ships passed through over the weekend. According to the Wall Street Journal, Iran spent the last 60 days boosting missile and drone production.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Now another conflict. Trump's special envoy and Board of Peace member Jared Kushner is in Israel, which rejected the latest Gaza peace plan.
Kushner met Sunday in Egypt with Hamas chief Khalil al-Hayya to solidify the process for Hamas to lay down their weapons in Gaza. Kushner was joined by Board of Peace envoys Nikolai Mladenov and Tony Blair. Reports indicate he'll meet today with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who recently called the Board of Peace roadmap unacceptable.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. President Trump is scaling back U.S. military exercises with South Korea. citing his good relationship with North Korea's leader.
The president posted on Truth Social, the exercises slated to start this week are costly and send a hostile signal to North Korea. He also made it clear he's not happy that South Korea didn't back the U.S. in its military action against Iran. Those exercises have been going on for decades and are meant to help South Korea beef up its readiness against North Korean threats.
Fox's Jill Nato, an actress, has died young. Hayden Panettiere, who starred in the TV shows Nashville and Heroes.
I've got the Bishop game next week, SATs in October, homecoming's 3 weeks from today, and I'm a freak show.
You're being a little dramatic, don't you think?
No cause of death given. Panettiere was only 36. A baseball pitcher has also died. Tommy John was 83, famous for more than his pitching. His name lives on medically. The operation he got to repair his elbow decades ago is called Tommy John surgery. America's listening to Fox News.
Larry Elder here. When it comes to supplements, two things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our customers do it. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and we'd like you to hear a few of their stories as well. Jim ran out of Relief Factor twice, and both times his aches, stiffness, and pain came back. Once he restarted it, he says he felt better again. As Jim puts it, you know something's working when you run out of it. I take Relief Factor every single morning for my back issues. I know exactly what Jim is talking about. Now, they make it easy for you to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor helped you tackle your daily aches and pain. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800 the number 4-RELIEF. You'll connect with our friendly local team, and they will do everything they can to help. We hope you'll soon be sharing your story with us as well. 800-4RELIEF, ReliefFactor.com.
Parts of Indiana remain underwater in a flooding disaster that's left at least 7 people dead. The White River near Indianapolis crested almost a foot higher than the previous record in 1913. The water is receding in some areas, but
because people start progressing into areas that they can now get to, but there are hazards that have washed into areas that they shouldn't be. There are electrical lines that may become re-energized that are still in water.
Hamilton County Emergency Management Director Chad Kinnett, hundreds of homes have been flooded, roads washed out, and there are still 110,000 power outages. There are even more homes and businesses without electricity in Hawaii after Hurricane Lala brushed by the Big Island. The eye did not make landfall, but the storm hit hard.
When you have 28 inches of rain, they had 28 inches of rain in some areas, there's just going to be a ton of landslides on the Big Island.
That's Governor Josh Green. Some areas of Hawaii got even more rain than that, around 3 feet. More than 100 homes damaged or destroyed. All schools and government offices closed today in Hawaii. Decades after rapper Tupac Shakur was murdered in Las Vegas, a trial is underway there for the man accused of masterminding the killing.
Opening statements are set to begin Monday in the trial for the murder of Tupac Shakur. A jury of 6 men and 10 women was selected to hear the case against Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who's accused of orchestrating Shakur's killing nearly 30 years ago. The legendary rapper was killed in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas in 1996. 3 years ago, authorities charged Davis with murder, describing him as the shot caller who orchestrated the killing. He has pleaded not guilty and could be sentenced to life in prison if he's convicted. Shakur was just 25 when he was shot, at a time when he was in the middle of a fierce battle for dominance in a music scene shaped by rival gangs. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed before this week's trading. Down modestly for the Dow, up more than 100 points for the NASDAQ. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, 68 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. This news update brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. An unvaccinated resident of Madison County is testing positive for measles and now recovering at home. Madison County Public Health, working with the State Department of Health, said in a statement that measles is highly contagious and spreads easily from person to person through the air. When an infected person coughs or sneezes, a person with measles can pass the virus to others as early as 4 days after a rash appears and as late as 4 days after the rash appears. Signs of measles include fever, cough, runny nose, red and watery eyes, and a rash that usually starts on the face and spreads through the rest of the body. Public health officials are notifying anyone who had close contact with the person who's tested positive during the time that they could have spread the virus. Now, this is not the only case in New York State. A Seneca County resident testing positive for measles as well. Seneca County Health Department officials say the unvaccinated resident tested positive after recently visiting Pennsylvania. The resident was taken to Keeler Medical Center on August 13th. The health department says it's working with the state also to identify anyone who may have been exposed. A man in the Syracuse area accused of trying to blow up a Sunoco gas station in Camillus. He's now in custody after a police standoff. 54-year-old Christopher Piedmont of Auburn is charged with third-degree arson, second-degree criminal mischief, and 2 counts of third-degree menacing. Police say this all unfolded Saturday night at the Sunoco on Genesee Street, where Piedmont allegedly told employees he had explosives, and if they did not leave the business, they were going to die. The employees were able to leave the gas station unharmed while Piedmont barricaded himself inside. Police say that's when he allegedly began lighting the building on fire. Officers from multiple law enforcement agencies arrived and surrounded the building. After negotiations, Piedmont surrendered without further incident. The building, though, did sustain significant damage from the fire. Over the weekend, a tragic ending to the search for a missing canine unit in the Albany County Sheriff's Office. Officials there say Casey, the canine, went missing on Saturday after she left her home in the village of Ravenna. Officials announced that Casey had been found deceased Sunday morning in the median of the New York State Thruway after it was struck by a vehicle. Officials releasing a statement which read in part, "We are devastated by the loss and incredibly grateful to everyone who helped search, shared information, and kept an eye out for Casey." So obviously a very sad ending to that story as well. And road work is happening on State Route 365 between 26 and 31 in Verona and the city of Rome. DOT officials say the project will get underway this morning and is expected to continue for about 2 weeks. During construction along 365, there will be alternating lanes of traffic. The DOT noting that construction schedules may change depending on any inclement weather. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:09. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Front laid out nicely across us as we push on through this morning, and some showers on it, maybe even a thunder shower into the afternoon, some passing showers, thunder showers. Throwing a little patchy fog, and you've got a Monday up near 80 degrees. Tonight, a threat for a shower thunderstorm early, then breaking up the clouds a bit, 60, 50s in the North Country, and a bit of fog by morning, which will go away by about 9 or 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. Then sunshine, very pleasant Tuesday, 80. Wednesday, showers, thunderstorms back in the afternoon, 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy and 68 at 7:09. All right, from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, Tommy John passing away over the weekend.
So he had a lot of ties here to the area, and
Actually, I did not know that.
Was a part owner of the Little Falls Diamond Dogs, right, Davey? Did they change their name as to the?
They're the Mohawk. They were the Mohawk Valley. They were the Mohawk Valley Land Sharks. And then they became Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs.
Okay, but that's the one in Little Falls.
Yes,
the Diamond Dogs for a few years.
He was a part of that, and at one point, I actually was a part of it. And the year I spoke, they did some Hall of Fame thing, and Tommy John was the guest of honor and spoke. I know I asked him what it was like to have a disease, an illness. Not necessarily a disease, but a medical procedure is really what it is. Named after him, and I honestly can't quite remember what his answer was, but really liked by people down. I mean, here you have a legend of the sport, and there he is in Little Falls throughout the summer. Pretty cool, and very sad to see him go.
Sticking in baseball, the Mets complete a sweep of the Nationals 4-3. The final on Sunday at Citi Field. Christian Scott was credited with the victory, striking out 7 batters over 6 1/3. Mets have won 3 straight And 9 of their last 12, they host the San Diego Padres for a 3-game series that opens tonight. The Yankees take down the Blue Jays 4-3 in 10 innings. Ben Rice, his 33 home run of the season, a 2-run shot in the top of the 10th inning. Yankees snap a 3-game skid. They now head to Baltimore to take on the Orioles for a 3-game series that begins tomorrow.
How about the rookie that hit 3 home runs in his debut for the Cardinals on
It
Saturday?
is officially the greatest start for a rookie in the history of baseball.
And then he went 0-4 yesterday.
Well, that you don't count. But his first 3 at-bats were home runs.
That was wild. Joshua Baez for the St. Louis Cardinals.
He may go nowhere. I don't know. But he will always be remembered for that.
Yeah,
Pretty
it was
cool.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Red Sox lose to the Pirates 8-3. Boston has dropped 2 out of 3, and they are stumbling after being the hottest team in baseball. Elsewhere, Scotty Scheffler wins the St. Jude Championship. Football over the weekend. The Bills won, Giants lost, Jets lost. I don't know. Again, I could care less about this.
I
It's
think,
about reps.
Syracuse training camp started this week as well, right?
I saw some highlights of that
It
yesterday
started
as
last
well.
week.
Yeah. All right.
Joey Logano captures his 39th career win. He won the Cookout 400 at the Richmond Raceway. More football news. Veteran pass rusher Von Miller headed to Big D for his 15th NFL season. The Cowboys announced Sunday they signed a deal with Miller, who's a future Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champion. The 37-year-old Miller leads all active players with 138.5 career sacks. Jamal Adams is out for the season for the Minnesota Vikings. A right knee injury that he suffered in the preseason win over the Giants on Sunday. Adams was signed on the eve of training camp and had been taking heavy first-team reps during practice. Any other injuries news here? For the Giants, one of their corners, who's been in the league for a while, Sam Webb, is retiring. He played 14 snaps in the loss to the Vikings. Said he'll be on the reserve retired list. The Giants continue the preseason when they visit the Dolphins in week 2. What else did I see over the weekend? I got to get the player's name. There was a kid who was drafted this year's NFL draft, millions of dollars on the table, announced, I think, on Friday or Saturday. I'm going to go be an actor. I don't want to play football.
Leaving. Wow.
I'll have information when we come back on this.
Well, the problem is, do you know you're going to succeed? And I guess, do you know you're going to succeed in the NFL? But you get there, and what an opportunity.
You get the money for crying out loud.
Come on. Listen, a couple of stories that are lingering out there. Some of them you kind of wonder about. First of all, this Hayden, is it Panettiere or Panettiere?
I'm not sure. Panettiere, I think.
Davey, she was in a couple of shows, like Nashville she was in, right?
Yeah.
Scream, I think.
Yeah, and she was on Guiding Light and Days of Our Lives on the soap opera.
Oh, you would know that, right? That's your mom's.
Well, no, just something I seen this morning when I came in when I was doing something.
All right. Right now, nobody knows, but she was found overnight by a friend.
Her dad announced that.
Unresponsive, and her dad announced that she has died. 36 years old. So who knows what that story is. The other thing, remember Mama June? Remember her? Where did she come from? Where did that come from?
What was the name of that show?
Wasn't she with Honey Boo Boo?
Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah.
And she had a daughter named Pumpkin, too, if you remember. There was Honey Boo Boo, and the littler one was Pumpkin. Well, Pumpkin is all grown up. Yeah, she's making the tour through, last night it was Chattanooga at Diamonds and Lust. And apparently
She's a dancer?
raking in the cash as a stripper, a dancer, a professional dancer, I should say.
Punkin. It's not pumpkin. It's punkin.
Punkin, yeah, pumpkin, whatever. Either way, that you just knew that family, those kids were being brought up in such a mess that, and I think I do think Honey Boo Boo was kind of messing around with that a little bit. The
Smitty,
place to
can
go
I get you a
is
piece of pumpkin pie?
the place to go is OnlyFans. That's where they all go. And speaking of that, the TV show that we're watching it. We're through 2 episodes. This is my week. I'm going to get them on. It's the couple. So the program is called Indecent. No, what is it? It's Inappropriate age.
Yeah.
Or age inappropriate.
Age inappropriate, yeah.
We do this every time. I should write it down. Age Inappropriate is the show. And it's on We Network or something like that. But you can find it out there. And it turns out there's a girl from Utica, and the guy is from Troy. And he's a restaurateur. He owns multiple businesses in Troy. He's 50. She's 24. And it's quite an interesting story. There are 4 or 5 other age inappropriate couples that are on, and one including a woman who I think she might be 40 something, and her man is like 22, and they just found out, it was just revealed. And she didn't want the family to know. She was worried about his mother and his family if they found out that she was a star on OnlyFans. It's where they all go to make their cash, and they make a ton of it. It's crazy. And he, by the way, is participating. So apparently the family just found out in this age-inappropriate relationship. Listen, it's crap. I know it's the end of the summer. What are you going to watch? You find something like this. But for me, the other couple, the Utica-Troy couple, that one is worth watching, and I got to try to get them on the radio. They've been to Utica.
We know she's from Utica now?
I'm told in an interview she had said she's from the Utica area.
Okay.
Her parents' favorite pizza is Joe's in Whitesboro.
That's a lot of favorites. A lot of people have that as their favorite
place. A lot of people
place.
like that. So there you go. And by the way, Davey has told us this morning's free money question. He's completely changed his mind. We're starting with $200 today. Davey, that's awesome. And thank you for that, Davey. Thank you.
And when we asked him what made him change his mind.
I didn't say that.
What made you change your mind, Davey?
In the words of John Sterling, he said, "Oh, it was a text message."
Oh, probably from Tim Reed.
No, nothing.
No. Oh, you just did it on your own. All right. That's pretty good. $200 today, Davey. Nice.
I give up.
Nice job. $200 for WIBX free money question of the day. We'll do it at about 7:35. Stand by.
Smile for the first day of school. From front porch photos to holiday guests, your entry door is the backdrop of your home. Make it draft-proof and beautiful during the Picture Perfect Door Sale at New York Sash with $1,000 off. Don't let an old drafty door drive up your utility bills when the upstate chill arrives. Upgrade your home security, energy efficiency, and curb appeal with custom entry doors built to last by New York Sash. For a limited time, get a massive $1,000 off your new entry door. Plus, make it easy on your budget with 0% financing for 3 full years. That's 0 interest for 36 months. Lower your heating bills, transform your entrance, and frame your home in style with 0 interest and 0 stress. Don't wait for the first freeze. This deal closes soon. Call New York Sash today or visit newyorksash.com.
Financing available with approved credit subject to approval. Not all buyers may qualify. Offer subject to terms and restrictions. See store for details.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Don't risk losing the trust in news, traffic, sports, and weather you get from AM radio stations. It's time to make your voice heard. We need Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars. When internet and cell services are out, AM could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179 and tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now. Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop. This message is furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
The Labor Day sale is on at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Save up to $2,000 on upstate New York's largest selection of mattresses. Will beat any locally advertised price on brands we carry. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Hello, I'm Oneida County Executive Anthony Picenti. This year marks the 250th birthday of the United States, and we've assembled a special commission to help organize events across our community. In the months ahead, we'll highlight why this is such a historic time for our region. From the signing of the Declaration of Independence to the turning point of the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Oriskany. You'll learn about the people, events, and local impact that shaped our nation. Our goal is simple, to help you love the history where you live, right here in Oneida County.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
I wonder how people are handling the early return to school. So you planned a vacation. You know, it always ends, right? The unofficial end of summer is Labor Day.
Yeah.
But the problem you have is schools are sending kids back 3 days before Labor Day. And for the most part, each school has a little different. I mean, you have a school-age kid.
Yes.
If you had a vacation planned, you're kind of screwed, or your kid's going to be missing a couple of days.
No, I hate to say this, but it was a situation last year where he had to miss the second day of school because we had a family wedding that was out of state. So, but he'll be going back. We actually, when you were away, we made a list, and I don't want to say
it's a lot of schools,
exclusively everybody, but pretty much everybody in our area is either September 3rd or September 4th for the first day for kids to report to school.
Well, the problem is that Labor Day is September 7th.
Yeah, it's late this year. And don't forget, we have, there's new holidays on the calendar.
Yeah.
And again, this was not the case when I was in school. Sometimes, as Roger Clemens would say, you misremember. We misremember. But it was not the case when I was in elementary school and in high school, where you would get basically a full 2-week break for the Christmas New Year, which I actually think is a good thing because families travel and stuff.
That only happens, though. That kind of is, some years it's long, but based on the calendar, sometimes it's shorter than that.
It is? Yeah, I thought it was a standard. They gave you the full week and the full week.
It varies. So, and I know it varies because I'll hear from my wife saying, can you believe we only have, 10 days? We only have 10 days for Christmas, New Year's vacation? Come on. But the thing I don't remember is, and maybe it's misremembering, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember having winter break and then spring break, like getting a week off in January or February. I guess it's February.
February, yeah.
And then another week off somewhere near Easter. I don't remember so much time off. But at the end of the day, schools have to make, in New York anyway, there are so many days they have to be there.
I believe it's 180.
And to get to that 180, if that's the number, that's why this is all starting a bit on the early side.
Yeah. So it's interesting, too, because it makes me wonder, it's such a big deal. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars in investment. I don't know what the total economic impact is for central New York and throughway tolls and everything else. But it's got to crimp. If this is a trend across the state, it's got to put a dent in the revenue for the New York State Fair. Right?
Correct.
If you have 3 or 4 days where kids are actually in school and parents aren't taking children to the fair, it's... that's kind of, those things go hand in hand. That's the final summer send-off for the kids, is they get to go have fun at the New York State Fair and the rides and the food. I know parents love it too.
I wonder when Syracuse schools start. because in Syracuse, the New York State Fair is kind of like a holiday of its own. I mean, there are people that are there every single day during the 2-week period. And by the way, that starts late because the fair always ends on Labor Day. So the Herkimer County Fair, which is starting late, that begins tomorrow, Davey, right?
Yeah, tomorrow until Sunday, and the State Fair starts a week, Wednesday.
State Fair next week. The State Fair starts next Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
Yep.
Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. But that always signifies the end of summer. But before you know it, kids are going to be back to school. And you're right. The State Fair, it may put a crimp in their numbers. Did you find out when Syracuse?
Yeah, I checked Baldwinsville, CNS, and I'm checking Liverpool right now. It's the day after Labor Day. Those two are September 8th, and I'm checking
telling
Liverpool.
You, the fair is so big in Syracuse. I can't imagine they're going back to school during the New York State Fair.
Yeah, Liverpool Central. Yeah, so three bigger school districts in Syracuse are all September 8th, the day after Labor Day.
So that would mean they're going to have to find those 3 days somewhere, maybe in winter break or over the Christmas break, come back a little bit early. And they always come back after the New Year, right? Usually the day after, the 2nd, or maybe it's a little later than that. But this does play a role. This is a doozy. And for those who've chosen a family vacation that kind of extends up till Labor Day, they're going to have to work that out. My guess is they will still have their vacation. By the way, who's the big Showtime is playing at the Herkimer County Fair on Wednesday. Entertainment by Don Brown as Elvis.
Oh, what day?
Thank you very much. Thank you. That, I don't know what day it is.
No, get me tickets.
Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Davey knows his Herkimer County Fair. Musical entertainment includes a Showtime, Past Prime on Thursday, Grit and Lace on Friday. Daily attractions include the Milky Way Farm, Robin's Heavenly Birds, and Bob's Butterflies.
Nice.
It's all going at the New York State, or the Herkimer County Fair, which is always traditionally the week before the State Fair. And how much do you think admission is to get into the fair?
The State Fair?
No, the Herkimer County Fair.
Oh, it's like $3.
It's $12 for kids for ages 13 and older. $5 for children, with children younger than 5 admitted free. Advance admission is $7 through Monday. Through today. That ends today.
So
your last chance to get advanced admission.
They had a flash sale last week for the rides. Overwhelmed with the tickets.
Yeah, but you're talking about the State Fair.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the State Fair.
No, we're talking about the Herkimer County Fair.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay, bud. You're right, though. There was, compared to the same promotion they ran last year, I read they sold 60,000 more.
Which means
midway tickets.
They're expecting big numbers at the State Fair. But Herkimer County Fair, which starts tomorrow, their theme this year is celebrating America's 250 years. And the opening ceremonies are at 3 p.m. tomorrow. And opening at 4 p.m., fireworks tomorrow night, scheduled for 10 p.m.
And I'm sorry, I don't mean... This is just an honest observation. I'm not trying to criticize the Herkimer County Fair. $12 a ticket.
That's a lot.
But
I think you have a real opportunity to get discount tickets everywhere.
Okay, good.
But I miss. Where's the act?
That's more than the State Fair, right?
Where's the? I don't know what the State Fair is. Where are the acts? The country acts that are like Barbara Scandell, not Barbara Mandrell. Or they'll take Loretta Tin. Come on to see Loretta Tin.
Shania Twain was very popular down there. I went to see her a couple times.
She played down there, and it was all it was a tribute act. Shania Twain, obviously, but Shania Twain. And if you glanced at it, the first thought you were like, the Herkimer County Fair got Shania Twain.
Right.
No, it's Shania Twain. Oh, okay. All right.
State Fair tickets are $8 plus $8.32 with fees and taxes. And am I crazy? Was the Boonville Oneida County Fair, was it only $3 to get in?
Davey is our county fair expert.
That's because we got passes if you had $3.
Okay.
How much were regular tickets?
I think 10.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You know, look, I know that New York State Fair gets a lot of state resources and funding, but if I don't know, maybe they're doing a really good job with the state fair. But the fact that state fair tickets are cheaper than local county fairs.
The problem is once you get into the state fair, everything is quite.
Well, they jack up the prices on the food and the drinks, and for sure.
I think all these prices are fair, and we'll leave it at that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for that. I really am. Coming up, we'll do Habaika's free money question of the day. As Davey has said, it is $200 today. Thank you, Davey. Great job on that, Davey. One more time. Nice job. Again, we're on radio, and Davey's shrugging his shoulders. All right, I'll just shut your mic off. Oh, go ahead.
I say okay.
Okay, all right. If we could only have a sound effect of someone shrugging their shoulders, it would be perfect. I could add that in for Davey. All right, Habaika's free money question coming up worth $200. We'll do that after news, which is coming up next year at WIBX.
Did you know your most treasured rugs can look new again? At ABC ChemDry, we specialize in premium area rug cleaning. From treasured family heirlooms to fine rugs from around the world, our trained specialists use a careful 5-step process, inspecting, dusting, cleaning, drying, grooming, and protecting, so your rug always gets the expert care it deserves. Don't wait. Call ABC ChemDry today at 315-738-1111 to schedule a drop-off or pickup.
Ice Cube's Big 3 season has come down to this. The Big 3 Championship is coming to Charlotte. Who will be crowned the Big 3 Season 9 champion? Plus the Big 3 All-Star Game. The biggest names in the game, all on one court, one more time. 2 games of the most physical, competitive, and non-stop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET.
Yay, yay! Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
69 degrees, cloudy skies at 7:33. Hollywood mourning the loss of actress Hayden Panettiere, a rep for the 36-year-old confirming her death on Sunday, while an exact cause is not yet known. The actress was best known for her roles on the NBC sci-fi series Heroes, the musical drama Nashville, and the Scream horror franchise. In a statement, her father is asking for privacy as the family takes time to process what he described as an unimaginable loss. The head of U.S. Central Command is acknowledging that there are indeed mental health challenges on board the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln, as a sailor reportedly tried to jump overboard. But Admiral Brad Cooper insists the ship has the lowest reported number of cases related to mental health out of all 11 active carriers. The USS George Washington is on its way to the Middle East to relieve the Lincoln. President Trump is directing the Pentagon to scale back joint military exercises with South Korea, saying the decision is linked to their refusal to participate in the U.S.-Israeli actions against Iran. In a Sunday Truth Social post, Trump wrote that although the drills could not be fully canceled at this stage, he was not happy the U.S. had agreed to take part, and highlighted his very good relationship with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. A weekend tropical storm, Layla, moving westward away from the main Hawaiian Islands today after leaving behind a trail of destruction.
Is it Layla, though?
Is it Lala or Layla?
Lala. L-A-L-A, yeah.
Okay, I apologize.
Yeah, and my only question would be, normally you want a hurricane to have a name that you're going to be, when you say the name, people they're going to batten down their
hatches. What list are they using? Lala?
Lala. Yeah. Hurricane Lala is heading towards, where's it going?
Well, it's leaving Hawaii. It's now headed to 300 miles west of Honolulu. It doesn't say where it's headed next.
There wasn't a direct hit on Hawaii, but it caused a lot of damage.
A lot of damage.
One you'd expect from a hurricane named Lala.
At least one person was killed. Over 120,000 customers are still in the dark after Lala blew through. The latest update from the National Hurricane Center puts the storm just over 300 miles west of Honolulu, with maximum sustained winds of roughly 60 miles per hour.
Would we be more in fear if the pronunciation was Lele?
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe.
Oh, no, Lele's coming. Not Lele. Yeah.
I don't mean to joke about, devastation, but, sometimes people have unique names of common names. Like, I'll give you an example. When I was in college, there was a girl named Lisa, but there was a kid from New York City who called her Leaser. Leaser. You talk to Leaser? So what it was
nicknames,
Storm Leaser is rolling through.
Okay. Yeah. I still don't know what we're doing with Lala. I'm lost with that one. Although really Hurricane Bob, some of the names they get, they can be pretty devastating, even though their names are not all that.
Here comes Tropical Storm Dick.
Yeah.
Opening statements are set to begin today in the Tupac Shakur murder trial in Las Vegas. A jury of 12 was seated last week, along with 4 alternates. The defendant, Dwayne Davis, also known as Keefe D, is accused of orchestrating the legendary rapper's 1996 murder. He faces life in prison without parole if convicted. And a new class entered the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame over the weekend. 9 new inductees were welcomed into the hall, including longtime NBA coaches Doc Rivers and Mike D'Antoni, 2-time WNBA MVP Candace Parker, and the 1996 USA Basketball Women's National Team that went undefeated on their way to winning a gold medal. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:37.
Front laid out nicely across us as we push on through this morning, and some showers on it, maybe even a thunder shower into the afternoon, some passing showers, thunder showers. Throwing a little patchy fog, and you've got a Monday up near 80 degrees. Tonight, a threat for a shower thunderstorm early, then breaking up the clouds a bit. 60, 50s in the North Country, and a bit of fog by morning, which will go away by about 9 or 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. Then sunshine, very pleasant Tuesday, 80. Wednesday, showers, thunderstorms back in the afternoon, 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
A bit warmer than it's been.
It's muggy this morning.
Friday night, I want to say the overnight low was like 51. I loved it. I had no air conditioning, had the windows open. Right now, we're at 69 degrees, Bill.
And a little muggy.
Some rain coming also.
Listen, for a number of reasons, and Sarah's Flooring Outlet should be on your list when it comes to flooring. They are the experts in flooring. They have the largest inventory in stock, and there's plenty to choose from, offering the best quality in flooring. Top name brands like Shaw, Mohawk, Coratech, Mannington, the list goes on. And Sarah's will meet or beat any locally advertised price. That's big. And another reason they're number one is the service. Decades of experience, unbeatable service at Sarah's Flooring Outlet. Remember, 6 months interest-free financing for qualified buyers. And Sarah's Flooring Outlet, unrivaled service and experience, all at an affordable price. And now you see why more people buy from the big store. In Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza River Road, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com. Okay, Davey, the man. We're doing $200 for Habaika's free. Huh?
I'm not the man.
For $200 for Habaika's free money question of the day. And by the way, Mike this morning says, I'm so proud of Davey for stepping up on the free money question amount.
Hey, Jeff, quick question for you.
Yeah.
How did Mr. Washington do, the young man from Utica that got drafted by the Raiders?
Yes, so thank you. Kevin sent me a message, and I neglected to mention this Friday because I believed he played on Thursday night.
He's turning heads over in training camp with the Las Vegas Raiders. People are impressed with this young fellow.
He had a 53-yard run, not for a touchdown, but a 53-yard run. I think he had like 65 yards on the ground in that game, and I think he caught several passes as well. So, look, hey, that's an exciting start, absolutely, for him, and we hope and wish him all the best. I want to mention as well, there was the player I was talking about who made news over the weekend. Sierra Wright was or could be a cornerback for the Cincinnati Bengals. He played at USC in Nebraska, so I was surprised to see he went undrafted, but had been in training camp and signed with the team. And let me pull this tweet here. This is from an NFL insider who says Sierra Wright was offered the lead role in a big movie that is coming out, and he could not pass it up. Filming ends in late October. He'll be available to play then. He's not giving up football, per a source. But he's not playing in his first year because he's going to go shoot a movie. I don't know if that flies with NFL teams. I really don't.
And, if he's successful in shooting the movie, he may not go back to get banged up in the NFL.
Sure.
Davey, we're looking for caller number 10.
What?
What caller number what?
What did Tim have to say?
Tim thought it should be number 10.
Okay.
That's what you're going to do?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
The contemplation that goes into what number caller, it's a very extremely difficult question to ponder.
It's a formula that mathematicians have worked on for decades.
They cannot solve it. Caller number 10 right now, 315-736-0186. Caller 10. We'll do it for $200 next from Hobica and WIBX.
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 315-444-4444.
You know, around here, a good vehicle isn't just transportation. It's family time, weekend adventures, and getting where life takes you. Wherever the road leads, you want to know your vehicle is ready for the trip. Get up to $200 back through August 31st when purchasing 4 select Continental tires on a Continental Tire credit card. It's a great time to upgrade your ride before your next adventure. Because when you're headed somewhere important, peace of mind rides along too. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, driving our community since 1980. Trusted for quality, known for service, and helping get you there safely, mile after mile. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, Yorkville, Utica, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com. We'll keep the wheels turning so you can keep making memories.
Get rates as low as 3.74% annual percentage rate during Sunmark Credit Union's auto loan sale. Visit sunmark.org/sale. Restrictions apply. Call 866-SUNMARK for details. Federally insured by NCUA.
On September 5th, Sticks & Stones Firearms in West Winfield hosts its 4th anniversary gun auction with no buyer's premium and no reserve. Discover an incredible lineup of rifles, shotguns, handguns, ammunition, military antiques, knives, swords, scopes, and more. With no games, no gimmicks, and no holding back, you're sure to get a great deal. Be part of one of the biggest gun auctions of the year. Preview day is September 4th. Live auction is September 5th. Sticks & Stones Firearms in West Winfield. Don't miss it.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, Hobica's free money question of the day this morning is worth $200. Comes from Joseph and Andrew Hobica. For your legal needs, call Joe or Andrew at 315-724-1600. 315-724-1600 for your legal needs. The Hobica Law Firm. And now we're up to a question that is worth $200. And our category today is audio-visual. Now, because not everybody is on YouTube watching, it will be more audio than visual. In fact, it'll be all audio. Rob in New York Mills is our contestant.
Hey, Bill.
Hello, Rob.
New York Mills.
Did I say that? Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I did, yeah. Hello, Rob in New York Mills.
Yes, well, just making sure we got the...
It's important to keep promoting New York Mills. Sometimes it gets left out of things, and we don't want that. All right, you know the deal. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to play an audio clip, and I'm going to say this. Each morning on Mondays, Davey opens the program with a disclaimer for the week saying the views. It's our it's done by our former producer back in the day, Angie Biggs. And in there, there's a little montage that goes in there, and there's a clip that is played from an old TV show. All you're going to have to do is come up with the TV show. In fact, I'm going to play you a little clip right now from the TV show, all right? Yeah. And then you'll have 7 seconds to answer and win the $200. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Here is a clip from the TV show. Listen very carefully.
Someone. Now remember, I trust you, so you'll have to trust me. I'm counting on you not to tell your father.
I won't. Honest.
All right. That's his father is Keeler, Hank Keeler, that is referenced in our opening. That's what about that guy Keeler? I think I saw him robbing the bank or something like that. All right, so your effort here is very simple. What TV show is that from? Ready, go. Are you there, Rob?
Yeah.
You didn't have an answer.
I said Twilight Zone.
Oh, you said Twilight Zone. I didn't hear you.
We didn't catch that.
Okay. Is it Twilight Zone?
It's not. I wouldn't have gotten this correct either.
It's the Lone Ranger.
It's the Lone Ranger. There was a regular recurring character named Hank Keeler on the Lone Ranger. The old ones, the black and white Lone Ranger. What, you think that was too hard?
No,
$200. All right, good guess though on Twilight Zone. I thought it was pretty good.
I'll take the rodeo ticket.
Yeah. What do we have as a consolation for him? Are you saying nothing?
Yeah, we don't.
All
And
right, Rob.
the rodeo's over, by the way.
We ought to do like I was watching somebody that is very loud and obnoxious on YouTube often and Facebook, complaining about Utica. I don't want to say who.
How about this, Bill? Bill.
And by the way, he was griping and yelling about everything. And he said, come down to my place. I'm giving you tickets. And he was giving out Blue Sox tickets.
Oh, yes.
The Blue Sox season is over.
This is a possible candidate for mayor.
Yes,
Can we get into
is.
this at all?
We'll get into it
Okay.
in a bit. All right.
Bill.
What's your proposal, Rob?
Next time you're going to be out, I'll come co-host with Jeff.
Okay. The next time I'm gone.
That works.
And you consider that a gift.
I do.
I like it. All right. I'm going to put you on hold. You can work that up with Davey.
All right. Awesome.
And you never know with me the next time. It could be tomorrow. You just never know. In studio right now is Assemblyman Brian Miller. Good morning, Brian Miller.
Good morning, guys. You guys are real special today.
We're
You're
special.
Wound right up.
Yeah, la la.
La la.
Is
Your
it
la la
la?
world. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if Eric Clapton sang it that way? La la. Da, 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 da. No. Maybe it is Layla. Either way.
It's raining.
I think you're right.
That's
It's
all I
Layla.
know.
Layla would be L-A-Y-L-A.
Yeah. Okay, Brian. First of all, what are your thoughts on the New York Post story? My belief is that we should learn and try to be better for the area. But the New York Post story that ripped like the daylights out of Utica.
Oh yeah, they ripped. They really went at Utica.
Yeah,
but let's use it as a positive for us.
I like that.
Bad news is, we're in the press.
That's
People
right.
know it's affordable here.
It's in a New York City newspaper.
Yeah, we got a lot of great things happening. There's Chobani, and there's a lot of good things happening here.
So again, that's a regional thing. I
think Chobani will have a lot of workers that come from Utica and Rome.
Sure, fair enough.
Right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's going to be a regional thing. It's going to be a regional thing all over.
Yeah.
Chobani and the Micron deal out
as well.
out in Syracuse. People travel. It's going to be a 50-mile radius.
I think and then looking at the complex at Chobani, I mean, that is going to be beautiful.
Oh, it's going to be quite the.
They're calling it a campus.
Quite the campus. Quite the milk processing facility.
Yeah.
It's a factory. It's going to take us to places we don't know. I think.
Yeah,
right here.
I agree. I think there's real opportunity now to get there. Well, number one, we have to bring employees in or take advantage of those who become, I don't know, what do we call them, dormant? They're not available, it seems. And then we have to find places for them to live.
Well, we got some hurdles in front of us, but here in the Mohawk Valley, we always find our way through it.
Yep, I agree.
I'm sure we'll find our way through this one.
I just was going to mention. I mean, again, great regional thing, and does it benefit Utica? Yes, but that Chobani is a project in Rome on the park there in the business the base, and that's a project of Rome and Oneida County. Certainly benefits Utica, but my point being that article was a specific jab at the city of Utica. And I think
I almost feel like she had a bad experience or someone fed her information because she had bad information. One of the pictures was Utica, Michigan. The unemployment rate was wrong. The population decline was wrong. She really kind of had, and then the story quoted quoted people, but all anonymously.
Yeah.
Usually in a story like that, you would always have someone to attribute a quote to. You would use an anonymous source in some sort of a whistleblowing situation where if they gave their name, it would be bad for them. Here, it just looked like a story that was made up.
Yeah, for the most part. And, specifically mentions Utica, which is why the mayor of Utica has been right out in front of this. He's been out there and all the papers and all the TV stations and all the shows.
He is being sarcastic right now. I don't know if you can read that.
Yeah. Strong delivery on the sarcasm there.
Where is the mayor on this?
Is he coming on?
I can't even get
Well,
it.
we need to be out in front of it. We need
You
to be
got
promoting this.
Everybody else, you're talking about it. Griffo, Vicente was talking about it. We've not heard from the mayor. I think
there's
that's
good things going on here.
Loss of an
Yesterday we
opportunity.
had the Towers race here in Utica, and I don't know if you guys were there, but that lineup coming down Genesee Street with all the flags was
it's incredible.
Was breathtaking.
And we're coming up on the 25th anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
25 years ago.
And this ESPN, Gus Pfisterer, who we had on, who has this documentary that's launching Wednesday night, is about.
Well, 11s are pretty tough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right. And all going on. Obviously, this is coming out during the World Series, the Little League World Series. But what a great story, and the fact that he's from New Hartford is pretty cool. All right, polling. We're gonna hear from Steve Greenberg on some issues. It's quite interesting with Blakeman versus Hochul on some key issues, and I think Manaski has the specifics. They're pretty close. Hochul ahead, but there's some key issues.
Well, I don't know where
public
safety, and toughness.
Yeah.
Okay. He's Blakeman was a very successful. He is a very successful county executive down in Nassau County, but Hochul being ahead on affordability. Come on, she's led the race on unaffordability here in New York.
Well, she's going to blame Trump on all of that.
Absolutely.
Well, you know what though, I do see,
and I got to tell you, for those New York City Democrats, they'll eat that right up.
Yeah, and maybe this is a stereotype, but I'm just saying, by party, Democrat versus Republican, usually the Democrats, like we saw this with Mom Donnie, we want more rent stabilization. You can't raise the rent, and I think the perception, at least, I'm not saying Blakeman's going to do this, is that when you have a Republican leader, they're more apt to extend the freezing the rent, etc. I think I'm struggling to say this. What I'm trying to say is I believe there is a belief that Democrats are more for affordable housing and what is it when you can't raise the rent? Rent stabilization. Yeah, than Republicans.
Well, and sometimes they make promises they know they cannot. They can't.
Fair enough. But I understand your point, where
which
we
does
pay more for everything.
Which does put Blakeman in a tough position where. But I think she's has many vulnerabilities that he's hammering her on.
No, absolutely.
And I think after Labor Day, we're going to see a lot of that on TV.
Well, because right now we're in that little lull before campaign starts. Labor Day, it's going to be full out,
and maybe even earlier because Labor Day is so late. Maybe September 1st will be the date. So, what are you? What are you're hearing from constituents right now when you go back? What are you going to work on?
Well, one of the main things is, and it's every day, and it's just not winter anymore, are the roads. Our roads are in terrible shape. We need more. We need more funding for our roads, our bridges. But it's solar expansion. It's wind expansion. I have in my district, and it's not in my district, but in the town of Columbia, we got that fight going on over in Jordanville.
With Jordanville at the monastery.
But in Madison County, we got Fenner. But affordability, electric buses is still on top of the pile. But roads, we need more money for roads, and we just got to keep on.
I got to tell you, Europe is so far ahead of us with nuclear, and a lot of when we were there, a lot of the taxis we took, a lot of the cars, a lot of electric. However, I was on a London show a week or two ago. And as I was waiting to go on, listening, they were arguing over, have we gone too far too quickly with electric? is the infrastructure's not there. We don't have enough charging stations. We don't. All the arguments that we have here.
Well, that sounds like the debate we had at 4:30
exactly
in the morning in 2019 with the LCPA.
Yeah. And that's the debate you guys had.
That's the debate we had, and it was hours long.
And even the grid is National Grid and other companies are saying, you're asking for an awful lot here.
We're struggling to get there.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
We will get there.
I think it's going to come.
The technology's got to catch up.
Who knows? It's possible the technology could become something else before we even get to it. But to say we're never going to have electric buses, et cetera, is probably being naive. The fact is, we're just not ready right now.
Well, the MTA down in the city are already using electric buses, and during the
even
hearings
up here,
we have,
you see these postal trucks parked.
Some. They're
over
parked.
on
they're parked though.
They are parked.
That's true. Cloudy with the side of meatballs. U.S. Postal Service trucks with the giant windshield.
Yes,
they look like from that movie. Those are electric,
and and they hit the country like they do the rural routes.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that they can pull that off, but apparently,
well, they're not.
Not.
It's still been an issue, but people call the office every day. We're extremely busy right now.
Yeah.
And, some of the situations that are, it's the Niagara Mohawk bills.
That is, I think, if there's anything that is the biggest problem that screws up a family's budget, is when you were paying $300 maybe a month.
Well, people
and
are
now
calling
you're
now
paying
that the bills are $600 in August.
In August, can I tell you? I've seen bills 1,000 or more. I mean, it's bad. So how do we fix that? And meanwhile, the governor's talking about it. Yet it was her commission that actually raised the rates and approved
it. She gets good polling grades on affordability.
Yeah.
Let's take another poll someplace else.
Yeah. All right.
Well, just a quick note on this, on the affordability end. Well, and again, I talked about perception. They broke this down by region also. This is Hochul versus Blakeman by region. In
this
New York
is really
City,
important.
64 to 19% she's winning. 64 to 19%. In the suburbs, Blakeman actually wins 49-41. Upstate New York.
Well, because that's where he's from.
45 apiece. It's
split upstate.
45 apiece.
Well,
that does surprise me.
That surprises me.
The last gubernatorial race.
Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester, Albany.
Zeldin just had to win 30% down in the city.
Right.
And that's the magic number.
Yeah.
And that's where we got to be. But, it's going to be a crazy season again.
Keep in mind also, I'll get to this quickly. Doug sent me this. Stefanik's upstate base still needs to be energized. The only way I see this happening is Trump coming to the district and he or Stefanik endorsing Blakeman and Constantino. He's got some interesting statistics here that since the year 2000, in a presidential year, about 60,000 more people vote in the 21st Congressional District. Now, extrapolate that out statewide in a presidential versus a midterm year. So I actually do think that's going to have an impact, and that might favor Republicans because there's so many Democrats in the state that if a 20%, 30% don't go because it's not a presidential year, that is an opportunity for Republicans.
Absolutely.
Well, a little dose of reality. The left is energized. The left is their turnout is over. It's higher than it's been certainly recently, and in some cases ever. The problem you have is with the war, the affordability, all of these things that are still happening. It is dragging everybody down. And the problem I think Blakeman has is no one thinks he can win. That is a pure recipe for Republican voters not to come out. But we'll see. Will you hang to the other side to respond to that?
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure you're going to really respond to that comment. Hold tight. Brian Miller will stick with us. We have news coming up next here on WIBX on a Monday morning.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Tate Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
It is still President Trump's number one goal in the Iran conflict I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Writing on Truth Social a short time ago, Iran cannot have in any way, shape, or form a nuclear weapon.
I just got off the phone with President Trump, who discussed the situation with Iran as the 60-day memorandum of understanding expires.
That memorandum set up a ceasefire as the framework for a deal that never happened. Fox's Trey Yingst, Tel Aviv.
The president told Fox News Iran should raise the white flag of surrender. He went on to say, I have no time schedule. I'm not in a hurry. The president indicating that the U.S. naval blockade is continuing to put new economic pressure on the Iranian regime, despite what the Iranians have said publicly. He said they're good poker players, but they're dying.
Iran continues to attack ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Only 5 vessels went through there over the weekend. The president also talked to Trey about his board of peace plan for Gaza, saying Hamas is giving up their weapons. The day after his special envoy, Jared Kushner, held talks with Hamas in Egypt. Now, Israel's rejected that plan as unacceptable. Kushner will meet today with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The president's also scaling back U.S. military exercises with South Korea.
Ulchi Freedom Shield is an annual set of drills designed to ensure South Korean and American troops can withstand a North Korean attack. But North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un views them as a rehearsal for an invasion of his country. President Trump announced on Truth Social yesterday the drills would be substantially reduced because it's too late to cancel. He said they send a signal that is totally inappropriate and hostile, and cited his very good relationship with Kim.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. An actress has died, Hayden Panettiere, who made a name for herself as a child in Remember the Titans.
Is Coach Yost here?
We're busy. Interviewing for head coaching jobs. Gotten 11 offers and certainly no time for you.
Panettiere later starred in the TV shows Heroes and Nashville. She was only 36, no cause of death given. America's listening to Fox News.
Larry Elder here. When it comes to supplements, 2 things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our customers do it. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and we'd like you to hear a few of their stories as well. Jim ran out of Relief Factor twice, and both times his aches, stiffness, and pain came back. Once he restarted it, he says he felt better again. As Jim puts it, you know something's working when you run out of it. I take Relief Factor every single morning for my back issues. I know exactly what Jim is talking about. Now, they make it easy for you to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor helped you tackle your daily aches and pain. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800 the number 4RELIEF. You'll connect with our friendly local team, and they will do everything they can to help. We hope you'll soon be sharing your story with us as well. 800-4RELIEF, relieffactor.com.
A win in federal court for the Trump administration in the president's continued attempt to build more border wall. This case is out of Arizona.
Judge Richard Leon rejected a challenge from the Tohono O'odham Nation, which argued the construction would amount to illegal trespassing and reduce its reservation. In his ruling, Judge Leon cited a 1907 proclamation by President Theodore Roosevelt giving the federal government control over land within 60 feet of the international border. The tribe's reservation was established 10 years later in 1917. The legal win for the federal government comes after President Trump's administration celebrated 15 consecutive months of having 0 border releases at the U.S.-Mexico border last week. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
On Wall Street, it could be an up and down start to the week. Dow futures falling modestly, but they are rising for the NASDAQ. A baseball pitcher has died, but his legacy lives on.
He was known as the Bionic Man after a groundbreaking surgery in 1974 by Dr. Frank Jobe saved his career. Tommy John won 288 games over 26 seasons with 6 teams, including the Yankees and Dodgers. That pioneering elbow procedure became known as Tommy John surgery. A cause of death was not given, but John had been in hospice and had been diagnosed with bladder cancer and other ailments in recent years. Tommy John passed away at the age of 83. Frank Lanza, Fox News.
On the field, Baltimore beat Tampa Bay 10-2, the Rays' third straight loss after Tampa, the team with the best record in the American League, had won 9 games in a row. In golf, Scotty Scheffler, the world's top-ranked player, won the opening tournament of the FedEx Cup playoffs in Memphis by 8 strokes, the biggest margin of victory on the PGA Tour this season. Scheffler tells CBS,
"It's nice to be able to pay it off with a win this week. You know, statistics are one thing, but being able to win golf tournaments is another."
There are 50 golfers left in the playoffs and 2 more tournaments, and the last one, the winner, gets a $10 million prize. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, now 70 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaske, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. News time is 8:05. This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. 2 new cases of measles being reported here in the state of New York. One of them is close, centrally located in New York State. It is Madison County. A resident there is now recovering at home after a recent diagnosis of measles. Public health officials say they are working to notify anybody who came in contact with this individual, who again was unvaccinated. Those who are not vaccinated or otherwise immune are at greater risk of infection if they are exposed. Symptoms start between 7 and 21 days after the person is exposed to the virus. Those symptoms include fever, cough, runny nose, red or watery eyes, and a rash that usually starts on the face and spreads through the rest of the body. Now, health officials are dealing with the same situation in Seneca County. Also, an unvaccinated resident testing positive after recently visiting the state of Pennsylvania. The health department said it is also working to identify anyone who may have been exposed in this new case. A man accused of threatening to blow up a Sunoco gas station in Camillus now in custody after a police standoff. 54-year-old Christopher Piedmont of Auburn is charged with third-degree arson, second-degree criminal mischief, and 2 counts of third-degree menacing. Police say this all unfolded on Saturday night at the Sunoco on Genesee Street there when he allegedly told employees that he had explosives and if they wanted to live, they should leave the store now. The employees were able to leave the gas station unharmed. Piedmont barricaded himself inside the gas station. Police say that's when he allegedly began lighting the building on fire. They were able to talk him out without further incident, but the gas station did sustain serious damage. Tragic end to the search for a missing Albany County Sheriff's canine. The Sheriff's Office says that Casey went missing on Saturday after she left her home in the village of Ravenna. Sheriff Craig Apple announcing that Casey had been found dead yesterday morning in the median of the New York State Thruway after being hit by a passing vehicle. Apple released a statement which read in part, "We are devastated by this loss and incredibly grateful to anyone who helped search, shared information, and kept an eye out for Casey." Local road work getting underway today on State Route 365 in Rome and in Verona. State DOT officials say the project will take about 2 weeks to complete. It's weather dependent. During construction, intersections along Route 365 will be closed to cross and left turning traffic, except for the Greenway, New London Road, and for Spring Road. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news times coming up on 6:09. Your Weather Center forecast. Brought to you by...
Front laid out nicely across us as we push on through this morning, and some showers on it, maybe even a thunder shower into the afternoon, some passing showers, thunder showers. Throwing a little patchy fog, and you've got a Monday up near 80 degrees. Tonight, a threat for a shower thunderstorm early, then breaking up the clouds a bit, 60, 50s in the North Country, and a bit of fog by morning, which will go away by about 9 or 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. Then sunshine, very pleasant Tuesday, 80. Wednesday, showers, thunderstorms back in the afternoon, 80s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies and 70 degrees at 8:09. All right, in sports, some preseason football over the weekend. The Bills got a victory, Giants lost, and so did the Jets. In baseball action, the Mets completed a 3-game sweep of the Washington Nationals. 4-3 was your final on Sunday. The Mets have won 9 of their last 12 games. They now host the San Diego Padres for a 3-game series that begins tonight. Yankees got to win in extra innings. Ben Rice, a 2-run shot in the top of the 10th. As the Yankees went on for a 4-3 victory, they snap a 3-game slide. They now head to Baltimore to take on the Orioles in a series that begins tomorrow. The Red Sox lose to the Pirates 8-3 in their rubber match in Pittsburgh. One of the hottest teams in baseball is now struggling as the Red Sox have dropped 2 out of 3, I believe 7 of their last 9 games. Also over the weekend, Tommy John passed away. Some sad news. Joey Logano won the Cookout 400 at Richmond Raceway. He held off Chase Briscoe by less than a half a second to secure the victory He's now 9th in the Cup standings. That was his 39th career victory. Scotty Scheffler adds another victory to his ledger, finishing the leaderboard at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Scheffler won the tournament by 8 strokes, shooting 17 under par. A couple of miscellaneous notes here in football. Giants corner Sam Webb retiring 4 days after joining the team. He played 14 snaps for the Giants during Saturday's preseason game against the Vikings and was placed on the NFL reserve retired list on Sunday. The Giants continue preseason action against the Dolphins in Week 2. Patriots still negotiating with Christian Gonzalez, who was banged up after a hard fall last week, but he's also been negotiating that new deal. Gonzalez was not pleased with team owner Robert Kraft's public approach to negotiations. The Pats and Gonzalez do not appear to be close, despite Seahawks corner Devin Witherspoon inking an extension over the weekend. So there you go.
I wanted to ask you, you're based as an umpire.
Yeah.
Dressed, by the way, today all in Mets gear. As in the Mets have won 9 of 12. Still 11 games back of the wild card, not picking up ground. As a baseball umpire, how often do you see a Rawlings bat versus Louisville Slugger?
Oh boy! Well, I'll tell you, the bats are very colorful and designed.
Right. All
I
of
don't
a sudden
often
now they're
look
all colorful. You can tell there's a stripe that goes around the bat, which signifies it's a Rawlings bat.
Okay.
By the way, still made in Dowdesville, New York.
No kidding.
Really?
Yeah. They still make the bats there.
Okay.
I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Yep.
I thought
the
place was closed.
No, it's still open. And I believe when you, again, they'll do the custom bats and stuff. But, bats, Hank Aaron used an Adirondack bat.
Yes, he did.
I mean, legends. But they're still being used today. But I wonder what the percentage is. And I don't know.
That's a good question.
Now you're going to look. Now, this week when you ump, you're going to look to see what bat they're using.
Well,
and it is hard because they're all decorated now.
They're all decorated. They look. There's different standards. There's BB Core. There's like Baseball USA. There's I forget what the other name is.
You guys don't use wooden bats anyway, right?
No, but level. Even the metal ones, there's certain restrictions on drop 5, drop 10, which is the distance and length versus weight.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. So like a drop 5, if you have a 31-inch bat, it would be, a drop 5 is 26 ounces. So I don't know. There's all different depending on what league you're in or what tournament you're in. If you're playing travel ball, there are different restrictions on what bats you can use. But yeah.
Yep.
I lived that for years.
Right, Brian Miller.
My son's done.
Not only did you play as a kid,
yeah,
but your son had a long career.
He played 4 years in college, and we played travel, and there was wooden bat games. There was, you name it, we were up and down the East Coast, and I missed that, Jeff, just talking about it.
As a matter of fact, another guy who's politically involved, Stephen Ruffero, his son was a very good baseball player and a pitcher, and I think he coaches now at Utica University.
Yep. Yep.
Pretty wild. Okay, Brian, talking about the race between Blakeman and Governor Hochul. How do Republicans inspire to get that vote out right now?
Well, I think it's going to be there are some local races that are going to bring a lot of people out here in Oneida County.
I think the 21st.
The 21st, we saw this gubernatorial race do the same thing 4 years ago when Lee Zeldin was here.
And that was close.
And I think Blakeman's within or ahead of the polling data that Zeldin had, and then we saw a takeoff of that. And I think we're going to see the same thing, when the energy bills are coming in, and we're getting closer to election season. I think there's going to be a big pickup.
So Kathy Hochul's $300 check that she sent out?
Yeah, it's going to help you out a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
$300? No.
How much was it?
No. Were you talking about for the National Grid?
No. She sent out this check to state residents. I believe.
You might be right.
I believe those
this
were going
fall,
out.
We're right before the election. I think next month. If you're, if you're a husband and wife or a couple, you're going to get a $200 National Grid rebate check or an Energizer check. And if you're a single individual, like, you're going to get $100 check.
And where are you?
$100 when I'm paying $250 in summer for my National Grid bill.
And this is another one of the governors and the majority's gimmicks that they like to use every year. And it's not doing anything for anybody. 27's budget year 27 will be coming up, 27, 28.
Yeah.
And we're going to see some financial issues coming on.
I think, I got to tell you, if doctors would focus on women, scientists would focus on women, the world would change. You
better watch it.
You're right.
It's 8 o'clock hour.
I think I'm still okay. If doctors would focus on women, and I'll say this, do you realize if they could cure menopause, the air conditioning dollars we would save? I'm telling you. We have to run air conditioning in our house. I mean, it's freaking cold. It's cold. But, where are doctors on this? Where are they? Where are the scientists? Where's how do they solve this problem? Think of the money we would save. It may be a conspiracy with National Grid or with these power grids. Anything else you're going to hit on, Brian, before? And we're going to break and bring in the pollster, Steve Greenberg, coming up. But anything else you're going back and hitting on? And I know you had this the headlight bill.
Yes, we still have the headlight bill out there.
And I know some people have criticized that, but I think it's a real problem.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
And we all understand it. It's
think about it.
It's our Beams Act.
There are rules for tinting your windows. There are rules for all of these rules. They tell you what color your brake lights need to be and all of that. But headlights
all we're asking
have been
for
rogue.
is a study, and it's done through our universities here in New York State. It is an issue. We picked it up from a congresswoman out in Washington State.
Some headlights are blinding.
Yes, they are. The lumens are just unbelievable. I know Jeff's shaking his head a little bit over there, but
you think it's a stupid concept?
No, I think they're blinding.
They're blinding.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's ridiculous.
You think they have their high beams on? They don't.
But we were working with the chairman of the Transportation Committee last year on this.
Yeah.
He's no longer going to be with us in the Assembly next year, so we're still going to be pushing on it. But there's it needs to be looked at.
I think it does.
Let's, there's studies out there for all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I think this is a common sense one. Take a look at it. If it's there, maybe we can get it pushed nationally. I do
worry that what the reality is there are those people that are like, I hate it when someone else has these high beams, the lights that are so bright, but when they install them, they can see so much better, and they don't care. And that's where we are. There is that element of, listen, I can see really well. I don't know about you.
Even beyond that, though, there is a higher percentage of people than there should be who will drive around at dusk and at night with their high beams on, and they don't care that it blinds you.
Yeah.
It's a courtesy.
They might not be high beams. They may be
No,
the
you can usually tell.
Yeah.
You can usually tell.
All right.
Well, in my truck, they flash me if the low beams are on, high beams are on.
Right.
It's just it could be the angle. It could be a number of things.
And how does that work in the winter with these really bright lights? You don't want high
We've
beams.
all seen the new plow trucks out there.
Yeah. The green.
No, I mean just the lights are put on top of the hoods.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
you can see from here to Ilion.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so you're going to work on that.
Absolutely.
All right, stick with us during the Greenberg interview from Sienna Research. It's Steve Greenberg coming up next, and his latest polling on WIBX.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com. Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
The boys are back as Jersey Boys returns for its 20th anniversary tour. The original Tony-winning sensation is coming to the Stanley in Utica. Go behind the music and inside the story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons music. Jersey Boys, October 14th and 15th at the Stanley Theater. Presented by Broadway Theater League of Utica. Visit BroadwayUtica.org today.
Having 4 kids in 4 years changed everything, especially our perspective on food.
We started paying closer attention to the things that mattered most, especially the food we were putting on our table.
We wanted better, safer, healthier. And when we couldn't find it, we took matters into our own hands. We started Good Ranchers.
We partner with local farms and ranches right here in the U.S., families who have been raising livestock the right way for generations. Hard-working men and women who care deeply about the land, their animals, and the quality of the food they produce.
We're proud to bring their legacy to your table. 100% American beef, chicken, pork, and wild-caught seafood.
And then we make it simple. We deliver it straight to your door.
Because we believe in making it easy for families like ours and yours to enjoy meat you can trust. Food that honors the American farmer. Food that brings people together.
Visit GoodRanchers.com and use code RANCH40 to get $40 off your first order. Plus, free meat for an entire year.
GoodRanchers.com. American meat delivered.
And now, Babbel proudly presents The Cat Chat.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Yes, hi. I'm staying in room 22, and I was wondering if there was anyone I could chat with about my sheets. They seem to be making me just really itchy.
Pardon, vous avez dit un chat?
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I just want to chat with maybe like the cleaning service, see which detergent they use. Just a chat.
Chat.
Please, I'm so itchy.
Un instant, s'il vous plaît. Matisse, j'ai un client qui demande un chat.
Oh. My goodness, I thank you. Just a chat, really, just a...
Voila.
What?
Sir, you requested a cat to scratch you.
Traveling mistakes can really be absurd. Learn to speak like the locals with Babbel, and no one will mistake your chat for a cat.
Sir, please. Your cat.
Get up to 50% off on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to get up to 50% off. BABBEL.com.
If you're looking for smart, balanced talk to wrap up your day, tune in to The Guy Benson Show. Weeknights at 7, we'll break down the biggest stories in politics, culture, and the media with sharp analysis, lively interviews, and a dose of humor. From Capitol Hill to the day's hottest headlines, we bring you the facts and the conversation behind them. If you miss it during the week, catch the weekend edition Sunday afternoon starting at 1. That's The Guy Benson Show, weeknights at 7 and Sundays at 1 on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Hey, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and they are accepting new patients right now. If you're in need of a new family doctor or you want to get in to take advantage of OMT, osteopathic manipulation treatment, something I do every month at the Falcon Clinic, call them, 315-507-4751. Dr. Cheryl Mattern is new. And there are 2 or 3 new physicians involved with the Falcon Clinic, and that includes Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, Dr. Kosminski. They offer acupuncture. It's all there under one roof. It's the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills, 315-507-4751.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it's Settleman Brian Miller in studio here this morning with us. And Siena has their latest polling that is out. And in the race for governor, the gap has definitely tightened a bit, but it's still a Hochul lead by 10%. Let's bring in Steve Greenberg. Stephen, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning, Bill. Great to be with you and your listeners.
All right, what are you seeing in the governor's race?
Well, first we should put in the caveat. The last poll that we did, that Siena did, was back in June, and that was a survey of registered voters in New York State, a sample of the 12 million registered voters. And in that June poll, Hochul had a 20-point lead. Where we are today in the first Siena poll of this cycle that talks to likely voters, just the folks who are likely to vote in this gubernatorial election, because if you're registered but aren't planning on voting, we honestly don't care what you think.
Right.
So we spoke to a sample of likely voters, and what we find now, as you just pointed out, is a 10-point lead for Hochul. Right now, 49% of likely voters in New York State say they would vote for Hochul. 39% say they would vote for Blakeman. 11% still undecided. Not surprising. We're in August, prior to Labor Day. Campaigns are engaged, but folks aren't really paying a whole lot of attention to it so far. So we'll see how that moves over the coming weeks of the campaign. But it's important to point out, Hochul has a 10-point lead, but she's not over that magic 50, because as we know, you need 50% plus one to win the election, and she's not there yet. And also, there are two ways to put this in perspective. One is, and Bill, you and I have talked about this many times over the years, New York is a state that is heavily Democratic in enrollment. 48% of the enrolled voters in the state are Democrats. Only 23% are Republican. There are actually more independent voters than there are Republicans in New York State. But despite that, Hochul only leads by 10 points. The other way to look at it is, we asked about the other statewide races this year. And what we found is, in the race for Attorney General, Letitia James, the incumbent Democrat, has an 18-point lead, 54 to 36% over her Republican challenger. And in the race for state controller, Tom DiNapoli, the incumbent Democrat, has a 23-point lead over Joe Hernandez, his Republican challenger. And when we ask voters what we call the generic congressional ballot, election is today, will you vote for a Democrat for Congress or a Republican for Congress? And there, Democrats lead by 16 points. So DiNapoli ahead by 23, James ahead by 18. Generic D beats generic R by 16 points. And Kathy Hochul has a 10-point lead over Bruce Blakeman right now.
That's interesting. So would you consider that a weak lead?
I would say that this race, 10 points separating the two candidates in August, and given what happened 4 years ago where Hochul beat another Long Island Republican, then Congressman Lee Zeldin, by only 6 points, the closest gubernatorial election in a generation. If we look back 4 years ago, August 2022, the first poll Siena did in that cycle of likely gubernatorial voters, we found Hochul with a 14-point lead, 53 to 39% over Zeldin. Now, 4 years later, Hochul has a 10-point lead, 49 to 39% over Bruce Blakeman.
I saw among the issues where Hochul had a big lead over Blakeman was the affordability issue. And I know I'm not asking you to, maybe I am asking you to kind of read the minds of those voters, but the affordability issue, I speculated earlier, that has to be a rent stabilization issue in New York City. It's hard to make the case that, New York State is the highest taxed. Our auto insurance are double the national average. It's hard to make the case that Democrats make New York State more affordable, or am I wrong?
Well, that is not what we asked. What we asked voters is we talked to them about 5 issues, and we said, regardless of who you're voting for, Blakeman or Hochul, do you think will do a better job on each of these 5 issues? The one issue where Hochul really did better than, did very well, 51 to 35%, so 16 points. Remember, her lead in the horse race was 10 points. Was the availability of affordable housing. So on the issue of affordable housing, she's ahead of Blakeman by 16 points. The next best issue she did was the general affordability, making prices more affordable in New York. There she only beats Blakeman by 7 points, 48 to 41%. And on keeping New Yorkers safe, dealing with the immigrant issue, and dealing with the long-term energy future for New York, on those 3 issues, Hochul leads, but only barely, by between 1 and 5 points on each of those 3 issues. Not surprisingly, Democrats are with Hochul overwhelmingly on each of these 5. Not surprisingly, Republicans are overwhelmingly with Blakeman on each of these 5. But the difference is, independents side with Hochul on the issue of housing, but they side with Blakeman on the other 4 issues.
Well, and that independent vote is very important.
No question.
Yeah,
As we said, there are more independents in New York than there are actually Republicans.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have to say that when you look at bail reform and you look at raise the age, these key issues that have played a role, there's only one place you blame that on. And even when it comes to your energy prices, your electric bill and your heating bill, it's difficult to not blame Hochul, but just based on what the commission has raised when they raised the rate. The problem, though, I find, is the more we're in Iran, the more the Strait of Hormuz is blocked, the more gas prices go up, the more the attention and spotlight goes on goes on the president.
Yeah, look, I leave it to voters to decide who they want to blame or give credit to on all of these issues. That is well above my pay grade. But there's no question when prices are high, when gas prices are high and voters see the war in Iran, see, as you point out, what's going on in the Straits of Hormuz, there is no question, and we've seen this in other polling in New York and other polling in other states, that, voters blame the gas prices on the president and Republicans. But that's different than your utility bill, what you're paying National Grid or Con Ed.
Yeah, or car insurance, too, which
that's
is
another issue.
A huge
issue.
issue.
Did you do any polling on the issue of data centers? Because that's been a big topic. There's one big one here that we're dealing with locally.
We did, and we asked voters, told voters that the state had implemented a 1-year moratorium on new large data centers. And we asked voters, do you think that was the right decision for New York or the wrong decision for New York? And by better than 2-1, 52% to 25%, voters said it was the right decision for New York. And where we often talk about those huge partisan divides, there's a partisan difference here, but there is certainly not a partisan divide. 61% of Democrats support this think the new moratorium is the right decision for New York. By a 40 to 27% margin, Republicans think it was the right decision, and a majority of independents, 51 to 24%, say it was the right decision. Interestingly, also, we've often talked in the past, Bill, about the upstate-downstate divide. Not on this question. 51% of New York City voters, 51% of downstate suburban voters, 54% of upstate voters all think the moratorium was the right decision for the state.
Yeah.
A question here on our YouTube stream: where does funding come for the polling that you do?
That is done by Siena. Siena University has been doing this. Absolutely, we are an independent academic pollster.
And a follow-up question to that: how do you come up with the questions?
We work very hard to come up with the questions. Certain questions are obvious. Do you have a favorable or unfavorable view of Kathy Hochul, Donald Trump, Bruce Blakeman, whoever it may be? If the election were tomorrow, who would you vote for if the candidates were this Democrat and that Republican? Those are easy questions.
Sure.
But then we try to see what's going on in the news and engage voters' opinions on that. An example of that is what we were just talking about, the data centers. Well, the governor put in a 1-year moratorium. We wanted to see if voters thought that was a good idea or a bad idea. So we spend a lot of time drafting the questions, brainstorming, and making sure, to the best of our ability, that the questions are fair, balanced, unbiased in any way, shape, or form.
Because some of the questions that the campaigns will do are they're leading, and you almost know that it's a poll that's looking for a certain answer. I do want to. Yeah, go ahead.
Fairness, Bill, I don't know that there are great partisan pollsters on both sides of the aisle. I don't think that when and I will yield to the assemblyman.
Yeah.
But I think when the assemblyman is doing, or any assembly member or any elected official is doing a poll for their race, they really do want to know what the public thinks.
Yeah.
They may ask certain questions about, the assemblyman said this. Do you like that? He voted this way. Do you like that? They may ask certain questions about the elected official, but I think they want to know the truth because they want to know if they're up or down and what the campaign, should focus on.
Yeah. You want to comment on that at all?
No, he's absolutely right. But, there's a lot of aspects to these polls right now, and I think they're all tied right back to the national issues we have.
They do.
With gas prices. Bill and I agree with you on that. And I think when people think about affordability, that's the first thing they think about is their
every day.
Every day I'm filling up. And that's just not, the gas prices are a function of the food prices, everything we do. So
it's all together.
So I think the New Yorkers are looking at the national issue, not the New York State issue.
Yeah. And then one more question for you, Steve. I wonder, polling on Democratic Socialist, DSA.
Yeah, first time CNN's ever asked this question. As we were talking about, we have a section of what we call the favorable, unfavorable section, where we ask, do you have a favorable, unfavorable view on various people, institutions, etc.? So we asked about the Democratic Socialists of America, or DSA. Only 30% of New Yorkers view the DSA favorable. Not quite a majority, but a strong plurality. 47% have an unfavorable view of the DSA. And here we do see the wide partisan divide. Democrats have a favorable view of the DSA by 50 to 21%. Republicans have an unfavorable view by an even way larger 82 to 3%. You don't see 82% in the polls a whole lot. And independents have an unfavorable view of the DSA, 57 to 29%. Sorry, 57 to 25%.
Okay. Very interesting stuff. When will you poll again?
We will go back in the field sometime after Labor Day, probably in the middle of September, take a look at where things are as the campaigns are really heating up. And then we'll certainly go back in again in October and take one last look prior to the election.
Something we had talked about before is that Blakeman is trying to, have this basically open lane to be able to tell people who he really is. Most people didn't even know his name. So he seems to be picking up some ground based on the fact that more people know who he is.
Yeah, well, he's on the air. I've seen his commercials. As I drive around in my neighborhood, I see his lawn signs out there. Voters are starting to know who he is. Right now, 33% of voters view Blakeman favorably, 26% view him unfavorably, 40% told us they've either never heard of him or don't know enough about him to have an opinion. But that's not bad at this point in the game, 33 to 26. He's on the positive side, and as you said, he has an opportunity to try and define himself, whereas we know the Hochul campaign is going to try to define him in a negative way.
Yeah. All interesting stuff. We'll wait for the next one, and we appreciate your time, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Talk to you soon.
Have a great day. Steve Greenberg with Siena Research Institute. I got to say that I've talked to a couple of, that 21st is going to be an interesting race, as we know, between Jen DeBean and Constantino. But I wonder, a lot of people believe it would have been a better race for Republicans if it was Smullen versus Jen DeBean. And I always wondered, and I've talked to 2 or 3 people. I'm not expecting you to confirm this or deny it. Feel free. You do not have to answer to this. But I've spoken to 3 different people who have told me there was an issue with, and we asked them directly, Smullen. There was an issue between Smullen and Elise Stefanik. And it was a dispute. And at one point, Smullen threatened to primary Elise Stefanik. And isn't it interesting that Elise Stefanik never came out and endorsed in the race? You would have thought, here you have this Marine with an unbelievable resume, and she never came out and endorsed. And the word is there was a dispute, and he got into it with her, and that ended any possibility of her endorsing. You don't have to
that I don't know.
Okay.
Right.
Fair
enough. I know when I first came on your show 10 years ago, don't say you don't know. Well, this one I don't know.
And believe me, I completely respect that.
There's rumors out there, and who knows?
Who knows? But I got 3 people who I think are in pretty good position who have confirmed it. So
I think it's insane to think
cost
that
him heavily.
Yeah.
He could not have beaten Elise Stefanik. No. And to make that threat, I mean, what is he thinking?
What was the argument about?
I don't know.
Who knows? But back to the poll.
Good move.
Blakeman's.
Did you just see what he did there?
Yeah, the
way you quickly said "who knows" makes me think you know.
Back to the poll.
Yes,
Blakeman's well within that range. He's ahead of Zeldin, and I think we're going to see some exciting things happening.
I think I got to tell you, I think I completely agree. At 10%, 2 weeks left in August. He has closed a 25, almost 30-point gap. This could be very interesting. And I think it's close enough where something could happen in the news. Something between now and October could completely
unless
open
it's
a door.
Something major. I feel like this is you and the Mets here. It's not over till it's over.
The Mets are still in it. I don't know if you know that.
And so is Bruce Blakeman, but I don't see him winning.
That's right. That's right. Who would have thought?
When I had COVID, I'm laying in the hospital bed, and I got to watch the 69 World Series again.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so, who knows? 69 Mets. This could be Blakeman's year, and it'd be great for the state to have a change in the governorship,
I completely agree.
And it changed the whole legislature.
I don't know.
We got a lot
of
we're on a tough road, and we need to get straightened back out. And I think this is the year we need to do it.
I agree.
And the one thing that I've always felt is that this is not the same dynamic as when Pataki won. And the problem is there are more Democrats than before, and the independents. And you combine that with the national possibility of a blue wave. It does seem like my Mets dream here, but anything can happen in politics. Brian Miller, as always, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Quick break. Cold wet coming in. Gary, is it Gary Kuda?
Yes.
You get out of here because you don't want to get into this Republican committee race. Oof. But that's what he's talking about. Hold tight. We'll get into it.
Hurt in a car? Call William Mattar. 315-444-4444.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khatak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks in America. There's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports. US Mobile is Wirecutters' top cell phone plan. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit. Just search for US Mobile and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
Yeah. Let me do... You should not read something to me just before I'm about to... Because I'm ready to... We'll get into it. Hold on. It's worth talking about. River Hills Properties is... growing and continuing to grow here in upstate New York and now in sunny Florida. Maybe you have snowbird dreams of avoiding a winter, or maybe you're in a situation where you love winters in upstate New York and you want to be closer to the Adirondacks. Whatever your situation is, downsizing, getting into something bigger, expanding to Florida. I mean, imagine going to Florida and trying to find an agent. You have no idea who's there, who you can count on. Well, right now, the River Hills Properties has a whole team of agents ready to assist you. In Sarasota, Naples, Marco Island, and it's the River Hills way. No lockbox. Your listing agent is there every time the house is shown. And here in upstate New York, they have you covered with offices in Barneville, Little Falls, in Newport, and now in Rome. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. 315-896-1009.
Cooling off now, 68 degrees, cloudy skies, and some rain showers. It is 8:45. The Memorandum of Understanding reached between the United States and Iran expires today. The deal was reached in June after high-level talks mediated by Pakistan. There's little evidence, though, that either side wants to extend the agreement or that it has been effective. Both sides accusing the other of violating terms of that deal several times. At least 7 people killed in Indiana after flash flooding across the state. A record amount of rain caused streams and rivers to flood their banks across the state last week, forcing Governor Mike Braun to request a presidential emergency declaration, which President Trump did grant. Actress Hayden Panettiere is dead at the age of 36. No cause of death has been given yet. She was known for her roles on the NBC sci-fi series Heroes, as well as the musical drama Nashville and Scream, the horror franchise. A Kentucky woman who allegedly admitted to vandalizing D.C.'s World War II memorial in a social media video. The words clean hands, dirty money, were spray painted on the memorial Thursday, and soap bubbles were found in the water. Investigators arrested Melissa Ferris on Friday, charging her with destroying property of the United States and destruction of veterans' memorials. A weekend tropical storm, Lala, moving out of the main Hawaiian Islands. At least one person is dead after Lala blew through. This after torrential rain caused widespread flooding and mudslides on the Big Island of Hawaii. And Ginny Lou, a 6-year-old pug, is the world's ugliest dog. She was crowned the winner at the 50th annual World's Ugliest Dog Contest.
I appreciate their honesty.
Held Friday at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds in Santa Rosa, California.
That's something humans don't do. Humans won't do this. As much as I would appreciate that. Humans don't do it. They try to cover up their ugliness.
Yeah.
Right? Dogs are like, this is me. You take it. You take me for what I am.
Here's the thing. I was once the owner of a very ugly dog. Very ugly dog. But, to me and my then wife, it was the cutest dog we could have ever had. We loved it so much. That's not true of, humans. People, unless it's your mother.
It's true. Yeah. Everyone's mother's beautiful.
We asked how much is that doggy in the window. They said free. Will you get it out of here? It's
please.
turning the kids away. They're
in fact,
crying crying out loud.
We'll pay you to take it.
We loved them. Mm-hmm. Here's some rain, and here's what you can expect for the rest of the day.
Front laid out nicely across us as we push on through this morning, and some showers on it, maybe even a thunder shower into the afternoon, some passing showers, thunder showers. Throwing a little patchy fog, and you've got a Monday up near 80 degrees. Tonight, a threat for a shower thunderstorm early, then breaking up the clouds a bit. 60, 50s in the North Country, and a bit of fog by morning, which will go away by about 9 or 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. Then sunshine, very pleasant Tuesday, 80. Wednesday, showers, thunderstorms back in the afternoon, 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
And we're down a degree, 68 at 8:49.
All right, 2 things to get to. Number 1, the new 2026 Mazda CX-5. Ricky Z is the man. He predicted, and it was worth the wait. An amazing vehicle, contemporary styling, larger touchscreen display, luxurious interior, and Mazda's commitment to advanced engineering, reliability, safety in a fun-to-drive vehicle. As Rick says, come in right now, save on a new Mazda lease, or enjoy 2.9% APR financing on a new 2026 Mazda CX-5. See the dealership for details. As Rick says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steep Poney Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. All right, quickly, I know, everybody's asking for privacy, but people want to know on this actress, 36 years old, Hayden Panettiere. Is that how it's
Panettiere or Panettiere?
Okay.
I'm not positive.
Here is the 911 call just released by TMZ.
Everyone instant to your son for cardiac arrest. Justin Milwaukee. Road. Everyone instant to your son for cardiac arrest. Justin Milwaukee.
I do not know we're beeping out here.
Mr. 1, minute 29 responding.
Overdose. CPR is in progress.
Okay. They're saying overdose.
Oh, boy. Well, and somebody in our
Along
messages...
with long beeps. So,
somebody in the messages, was it Darlene? Here we go. She sent me an article from Variety, and this is from a couple years ago, maybe. It talks about sexual abuse situations she had been in. As I skimmed through the article, there was one point in particular where, and I think some of this gets very serious, but an important executive, here I'll read it to you. There was a quote, important executive at NBC, unquote, who kissed her on the lips at a party in 2008 while she starred on his network's hit show Heroes, or the time that a star-studded apartment party in Los Feliz took a turn for the appalling when an Oscar-winning actor and director cornered the 19-year-old Panettiere as she was about to leave and tricked her into looking at his exposed
genitalia.
Yeah. He said to her in a joking fashion, "Hey, there's a big wad of gum in my pants." And he'd actually pulled something out. I looked down and recoiled, she said. This well-respected, award-winning actors were hanging out from his unzipped fly. Up to that moment, men in Hollywood had always been kind and respectful around me. There may have been a peck on the lips here and an inappropriate comment there, but nothing like this crossing the line. And the line kept getting crossed again and again. One of the most shocking incidents occurred when Panettiere was 18 and an actress friend who she calls Stella in the book invited her to a yacht party in the south of France. Stella ushered her down into the bowels of the ship to a cabin where a famous 30-something British singer and songwriter was naked in bed. I want you to get in bed with him. I'm going to skip some of the other commentary here. But essentially...
Yeah, she was put through an awful lot.
She's talking about instances where she was put in sexual situations or sexualized when she did not want to be.
Crazy world out there in Hollywood. Crazy world right here as coming up in the month of September, the Republican Party will try to unite with a vote on who the next chairman should be. Gary Kuda is currently a committee member in Oneida County. Gary, good morning. I know you wanted to put your 2 cents in. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. What do you know, and what are your thoughts here?
Well, we've had a major change over this last session, and our sessions go for 2 years at a time.
Yeah.
And people that just won the June primary will now be in for the next 2 years in this session. And we've had an interesting turn of events here, and a couple might be good, and a couple are really bad. So what I've done is I was asked at one point if I might want to be chair last session. I said no. I didn't think that it would be the right thing to do with all the chaos that was about to ensue. However, at this point in time, I've talked to people on both teams, and I'm going to throw my name in the hat as well.
Wow. So, and I know, Davey, you received a letter from someone who's running, right? We'll get that in a second.
I've had a personal conversation at length.
Okay, with her.
So and we actually see quite a bit together.
Okay, Davey, who is that person?
Ellen Pratt. Ellen Pratt.
Ellen. Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, not Ellen Pratt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The letter you received. You just received a letter.
Yes, the letter is from the person.
Mary Pratt is.
Mary
on
Pratt.
the legislature.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's the majority
leader on the legislature.
Gary, who are you talking about?
Yes.
Oh, it's
I'm talking about
Ellen Rayhill.
Rayhill.
Yes.
Ellen Rayhill. Yeah.
Yes.
And Davey had received the letter that she is running for chair, and you're saying you are throwing your hat into the race. And what kind of conversation do the two of you have?
Oh, we've had an absolutely fabulous conversation, and I guess the best way to put it is like this. When we see our politicians in our area, they're always looking, if you're a Republican or Democrat, you're looking for the conservative endorsement. I'm going to be the guy that is on the conservative endorsement side. So I'm looking and saying, I'm going to throw my name in the hat, and whoever decides that I'm good enough, that side wins.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you there because I'm a little confused. Maybe I don't understand how this works. You said you and Ellen are both on the same page. You agree on a lot of stuff, but you're both running for chairman. I mean, we've seen this with a primary election. I'll use Constantino and Smullen as an example. The thought is if they both stay in, they split the vote against Gendabine. So if Rozier's running and you're running and Ellen's running and you and Ellen agree on a lot of things, if you're both running, don't you split your own vote and then you kind of hand it to the other guy?
Well, under normal circumstances, you're absolutely correct. However, I look at it from a different perspective. The people that are looking to bring Ellen in, and she's a good lady, very good lady, very, very respectful. I believe that the two teams are close, but not over the top, and that's where they need me.
Okay. Let me ask you about your when you and I spoke, when I was booking this interview, you were telling me essentially, I think you called it a bait and switch. You felt like Rozier, the current chairman, had kind of come in and acted like he didn't want the position and he wasn't going to do anything drastic or dramatic, and you don't feel like that was the case. This was the plan all along to take the party over.
Yeah, there was some other things going on in the background that most of us didn't know. I've heard the term buyer's remorse. I don't believe in buyer's remorse. I'm a military guy. This was treason. This was absolute treason to the people that saw the change as being good, and it's something that they wanted to have an impact. The people wanted a voice. And now we've completely 384 committee members in Oneida County, and only the executive committee of 10 or 15 people have a voice or a vote anymore.
Yeah,
and that's communism.
So I guess
that's dictatorialism.
I do wonder how you see yourself not splitting the vote.
I just got a message from Doug.
How's Doug doing?
Doug's doing well, but he said, unfortunately, what Gary's going to do is split the vote, leaving the door open for the absolute worst chairman in the county's Republican committee history to win again. That's the message he just sent.
I understand that, and I wouldn't argue with from Doug's perspective. I wouldn't argue that that's not where we're going to go, because this is going to cause a conversation. And from there, we'll move forward. And basically, as I was saying earlier, you have to have the conservative endorsement in a lot of cases in Oneida County to win your seat. So you might say two different teams have to come together.
Okay.
That's where I'm going.
I'm a bit confused, but feel as if you have a strategy.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right,
goes all the way, Bill goes all the way back to the our Bikers for Babies days with Martha Dimes.
Yes.
And we raised $200,000 with
I remember
almost 2,000 riders.
Yeah, it's incredible.
We had a great time.
All right, Gary, we appreciate it, and keep us posted as
Yes,
this
please
comes
do.
up in September. Thank you
When
so
is
much.
the meeting?
Well, it has to be announced by our current chair, and it used to be a couple of weeks after the primary, so sometime between September 18th and October 5th or 6th.
Third weekend of September, right? We'll know, and
so it'll be near the end of
interesting.
September.
All right, Gary, thank you. Have a great day, and thanks for the update.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, Gary Kuda. That's going to be, I mean, who would have thought the committee vote, Republican committee turns into a big political deal, but it has here in Oneida County. All right, listen, we are out of time. And Kilmeade comes up, which is absolutely next, which is after news.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Tate Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Iran should wave the white flag and surrender. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump told Fox's Trey Yingst in a phone call this morning as the 60-day Memorandum of Understanding expires. It set up a ceasefire that didn't last and a framework for a deal never reached.
At the end of the day, the president wants two clear things here. He wants control of the Strait of Hormuz. There is an ongoing U.S. naval blockade that is costing the Iranian regime hundreds of millions of dollars each day. And if ultimately this leads to future negotiations, that is when Iran's nuclear program is expected to be discussed.
The president also posted on Truth Social, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. As for the Strait, where only 5 ships passed through over the weekend.
There are a lot of different players involved and talks that are taking place as we speak right now between Iran and Oman about control of the Strait of Hormuz. And the president says if Oman gets in the way, we'll bomb the S out of them.
Trey also reports from Tel Aviv. They talked about another conflict, Gaza, the day after U.S. Special Envoy Jared Kushner held talks in Egypt with Hamas's leader.
The president said that they have a different channel with Hamas and that ultimately they are giving up their guns, talking about the demilitarization of the Gaza Strip.
But Israel's rejected the Trump Board of Peace plan. Today, Kushner meets with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. She was famous for acting and singing. Hayden Panettiere, who got her start as a child actress, has died.